This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Five menu. No. 5 menu tortures. Many. I've died inside, and I'm so glad we're done.
Wow.
Yeah. Simple. This is Zack layering his voice multiple times.
I don't know. Did you hear my jingle last time? It was basically...
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
And we'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, our commercial jingles show.
Yes.
We had a good time with Terry and without Zack. And
thank you, Terry.
Not a great time without Zack, though. I missed him.
I did miss it too.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It was honestly super fun to go back to listening, and I didn't know what was coming up next because I hadn't lived through it. So that was super fun, actually. And there was some good feedback on social media as well. I apologize if I say your name wrong. Todd Callan? You guys inspired me to get some Mentos today, which is the classic Baconsale thing. We talk about a thing, people go buy it. Unfortunately, I didn't come across an opportunity for some justified mischief. Thanks for bringing back some childhood memories.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's what we're going for. Yeah. Nostalgia.
Then Steve Hansen says, maybe no one else heard your reference to Hebrew National, but I did. Love them. I also heard that reference and thought it was very good.
Thank you. Hebrew National Dogs, not a sponsor. They're hot dogs.
Hot dogs are not good.
Just delicious. And then we have to give a huge shout out. This is over on Twitter. Stephen Hamilton. Oh my gosh. He posts a video of him singing the whole Crossfire song.
There was this whole back and forth with Kent and Stephen where he said something like...
he was like, I was singing the Crossfire song. I'm glad you guys mentioned it. I said, do you actually know the lyrics?
And he typed them out, like in all caps, Crossfire.
You get caught up in the Crossfire.
And we were like,
did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
So then it's this back and forth. And then I
challenged him, and he sang the song.
He sang the song. He filmed himself, and we tweeted it out. We retweeted it because we thought it was so hilarious. But it was like this dramatic retelling of Crossfire. You'll get caught in the crossfire. Anyway, I'm not doing it justice. You need to go check it out. Check it out on our Twitter. If you're not following us, follow us there. A lot of fun stuff happens on our Twitter and Facebook and Instagram too.
Super fun.
But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zack?
We ate everything at Subway.
Collective
groan.
Do we always groan whenever we do this?
I think we do. I actually went through and listened to the last ones.
Okay.
We do. Because we have eaten everything on the menu at Wendy's, everything on the menu at Burger King, everything on the menu at Taco Bell, everything on the menu at McDonald's, and now we've done Subway.
Which is why I said 5 menu torture.
Yes.
By the way, Zack, welcome to your first full menu challenge.
This is my first one. I did dabble with the frozen pizza last year. But yes, this is my first proper. Oh boy, was an experience.
This is your first menu quest, a full menu quest. And boy, do we drop you into the deep end. Let me just run down some quick stats here, if I may. McDonald's, about 62 items on the menu, cost us about $150. If you were to order everything on the menu, about $150.
Honestly, that's a super deal.
I know. Because then you get Taco Bell, 77 items, goes up a little bit, and approximately $160. Goes up in price a little bit. Burger King, 80 items, going up a little more, approximately $235. We're jumping up there.
By the way, we're not talking calorie count right now.
No.
Because we don't want to remember.
No. Our last quest, our Wendy's quest, was 87 items on the menu, which if you bought all of them, it would be approximately $310 and approximately 41,245 calories.
There we go. Thank you very much.
That's when we started tracking calories. And now we come to Subway. We have 120 items, which is almost 40 more than our Wendy's quest. And if you were to buy one of everything on the menu at Subway, it would cost you approximately $619.
Unbelievable. But hey, only 27 calories for the full menu, according to them.
Well, I was going to say 41,000 41,000 calories.
No.
41,010 calories, which is about 235 less than Burger King, than Wendy's. So you have you have like 40 more things to eat, but you're getting 200 less calories if you eat everything on the Subway menu.
Now, but this is the thing that's crazy though. If you think about it, like our prices varied widely.
Oh,
so my final total was actually 632, but Joel's yours was under 600.
Yes.
Because for whatever reason, it's cheaper in your area and more expensive in mine.
It's cheaper in Weber County. Everything is.
Come on.
And that's just it. Is like it varied from place to place. We kind of had an average that we were looking at, like in the Salt Lake, Utah area, but then everywhere we went, it was different prices.
Now, I'm going to go a little bit behind the scenes because as we were planning the shows for this year, we kind of have this rough outline and we said, what are we going to accomplish this year? Because as Joel says, this is a tentpole show.
Yeah, we try to do these.
It's only been
year.
5 times that we've done a full menu, but we needed a big player and we're like, cool. I'm not going to mention some places where we were planning, but for some reason, we chose Subway.
You say for some reason, but the truth is, Ken, and we have stated this on a couple episodes before, Subway is the largest fast food restaurant chain in the world.
It is.
With approximately 41,600 locations. So it has about as many locations as it does calories.
And 10.
So Subway's always been number one, and we're like, Subway.
But how do we eat everything at Subway? Because there's like 8 things on the menu. They're just different variations.
By the way, I just want to run this down real quick. So Subway's number 1. McDonald's is number 2 in regard to largest fast food. And we say largest, we're talking number of locations. Yes. Revenue, McDonald's does come out on top. Starbucks is number 3. KFC is number 4. Burger King is number 5. So
how's Burger King still up there?
So but we said let's go for Subway. And we had a little bit of issues with it. Not because so we have talked about Subway before on episode 22, Fast Food for Thought.
Yes.
Very early episode. I said the smell of a Subway is, quote, alluring but off-putting, and I gave it a tier 2. Mm-hmm. Kent said their money smelled like mustard and vinegar, tier 2. And so it's
all about the smell with Subway.
We have given our thoughts, and I want to ask you, Kent, you and I have given our thoughts on this. Did this experience change your mind and or ranking?
Yes, it did. Yes.
For the better or for the worse?
For the worst. I used to think of Subway as being very health conscious. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that way anymore. I think you can order things on purpose that are healthier options. But the average thing you get there is actually higher in calories than a McDonald's hamburger.
That's crazy. But you get more, too. It's a longer sandwich. There's
Do you get more vegetables, or is it lettuce and spinach? I'm not really sure. But no, it'd be a tier 3 at this point.
So we came down. But we had this dilemma of like, how are we going to do Subway? Mm-hmm. Because we have to keep a control of some sort because, we can't just go do whatever we want every time. Be like, okay, I'd like a turkey sandwich. Hold the turkey. Hold the bread. Just give me the cheese and some banana peppers.
Cheese and bread is fine.
So we decided what we were going to do is at first we said, okay, we're going to do the default toppings. We're just going to go with that. Which, if you use the app, the Subway app, the default toppings are lettuce, tomato, green peppers, cucumbers, red onion. That is not...
By the way, without cheese.
Yeah, no cheese,
without
no sauce. And so we did that for a couple sandwiches, and then we went, no.
Right.
This is not working.
Well, you get a feel for it, and you go, wow, this is really boring. But you're right. They don't automatically give you cheese, but in the store, they will force it upon you.
Well, also, they certainly will charge you for the cheese that you don't get.
People can force cheese on me all day, okay?
That's a quote. But I do feel like they charge you whether you get the cheese or not. Like it doesn't cost extra to get cheese.
Yeah, you're always paying for it. So just get it.
But they don't default it on the app.
Right.
We started this quest, by the way, in January 14th. And we've been eating it through that. And I won.
Okay. Again. You're just going to throw it out there like that?
No,
it wasn't even close.
I finished my quest in May.
Okay. It's not fair. Can we just state, because of your family size?
Because I had an eating buddy.
You have how many eating buddies? 47 eating buddies?
No, I mostly it was just me and my wife. Okay. I recommend, by the way, getting an eating buddy because I'd order one for her, one for me. I'd eat some bites of hers. She'd eat some bites of mine, and then we'd kind of just both talk about it each time. So I was able to definitely get the menu faster than you guys.
So, Zach, I don't know about your experience, but I tried to do the eating buddy method, but I was the only buddy. I am my own best buddy, basically, because I would order 2 to 3 things at once. And generally, what we did is order a 6-inch.
You'd say to the drive-thru employee, it's for my family.
I got kids' meal for my kids, probably.
All those protein bowls are for me and my date.
And so what we did is we got a 6-inch sub. By the way, we're doing subs, salads, protein bowls, which we'll explain later, and wraps, among the other sides and toppings and everything else.
Almost everything on the menu comes in those 4 carnations.
Right. But my problem is I would enjoy one thing quite a bit, and I ordered something else I knew I probably wouldn't enjoy as much, and there was so much food that went to waste, and I feel so bad about it. Zach, did you have a similar experience?
There was only a couple of times that I way overdid it. There was a time where I ordered 4 things. Granted, I was with another person, but there was some food that went to waste. There are reasons why,
of course,
which we'll get into. But yeah, overall, I tried to make it so I went out to lunch and that's what I got.
Well, and that was the worst, too, is when you got one incarnation. Like, let's say you get a wrap of something and you're like, wow, that was terrible.
Yeah, like a turkey breast wrap.
When you get one that was terrible, though, and you're like, I can't wait to try that 3 more times. I didn't like it in this formation. Am I going to like it with a spinach wrap on it? Probably not. Yeah. So that was the bad part.
It was.
Yes, I do want to mention this because yes, I did win. I want to bring that up again.
Thank you for bringing it up again.
Yeah,
I didn't realize this because I finished and I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't find these other things. And then Zach was like, well, try to get this and this. And I'm like, okay, I'll look for that. So because some stuff wasn't on the app. You had to go in the store to get it.
And it's different in certain stores because there's different franchises.
Some places have the veggie patties. Some places don't. Some people have cookies. Some people don't.
Yeah.
And so I ended. And then Zach's like, you're not done yet. So I was like, okay, I'll get this couple more things. I found them. Had to go because there was about 4 subways that I rotated through. And so I had to kind of go outside that circle. Then I finished again. And then Zach's like, hey, there's this other menu item you forgot to put on there right at the end. And so I had to end again. But I actually ended I started on January 14th and I ended on May 14th. 4 months to the date. That pleased me so much.
Zach, when did you finish?
When did you finish?
I finished late last night.
Kent, I totally beat you.
Oh, by how much?
I finished at lunch yesterday.
I hate this challenge so much.
I finished literally just before.
I hope Jacob is listening because I would have loved to have seen him try to do his procrastination method on this one.
Yeah.
Because to eat 120 items in a couple days would be impossible.
He would have said he did it.
Yeah, he would have said he did. But he wouldn't have.
So here we are. We've eaten everything off the menu, and not as many things dropped off the menu as did the other fast food options that we did.
This one expanded. Like, it was like we'd have something where like, oh, this is also available in wrap form, so we'd have to bump it down there. Or, oh, this is also a protein bowl, so we'd have to bump it up there.
But like you said, the app would remove certain sauces and certain cheeses and certain breads.
Can we talk about the app?
We have to talk about the app.
The worst app ever.
I don't know if I'd say that. But it's not great. Dang annoying.
It's not great for food customization. Like they allow you to choose what you want on your sandwich, but they don't guide you on how to do it.
Yeah. It's
and also,
curve.
It will close out at any given time. If you want to use a discount or whatever, good luck.
Oh my gosh, the offer codes were terrible.
It'll give you a pop-up that'll block everything that you're doing.
Yeah,
it'll be like, hey, buy one, get one 3 foot long.
Every time you open the app, it's like, boom, big pop-up ad. And I'm like, close it down. I don't want a foot long. They really want you to get a foot long.
Mm-hmm. If you're trying to track your, like the meals that you've had because you're doing a challenge of eating everything, the recent orders in the app just like doesn't show you what's going on.
Yeah, which we tracked it using a Google spreadsheet, which you can actually see if you're a patron of Baconsale.
Yeah.
You can see the spreadsheet that we used. But Ken, you bring up the offer code. Like, I'm not kidding when I say, okay, I did a survey, and then it's like, here's your offer code, 8-22747-0-0213-1200.
Oh, that's from the AT crowd, right?
Yeah. But they don't send it to you. They tell you to write it down. You can't just copy and paste it.
So it's like a Castlevania code from back in the day?
And you can't copy and paste it into the app. And it's like a $2 promo.
Where do you put it? I've gotten so many of those. I have no clue where they go.
I used to draw it on envelopes back when I was 8. Well, Mega Man codes and whatnot.
Also, these coupon codes expire within 5 days.
Yes.
And granted,
it's like you have $2 off.
I was going to Subway within 5 days.
See, I'd forget. I had so many expire on me.
So I tried to use it. I was like, okay, I'm going to use it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to type it in manually within 5 days. And then it's like, nope, this is for in-restaurant orders only.
Yes.
You can't even use it on the app.
Okay, but even though we hated the app, how often did you guys order at the store compared to the app?
Not a lot. Like, honestly, out of all the things we got, probably less than 10. 5 times, 6 times, something like that.
Yeah, I was about 85-15 on this one. I try to go with the app, but like we said, there are some things that you cannot order off the app.
Well, and sometimes it didn't work. Like every time I tried to order sides, you can't specify what kind of chips or drink you want. You just say, I want a chips and drink. And then when you get there, they give you your food and you're like, I also had chips. Oh, here you go. What kind do you want? I also had a drink. Oh, okay. What kind do you want? Like they forgot so many times.
Or it's a surprise.
Yeah,
no, that's the thing. Mine was like, you ordered Lay's and a Coke. I'm like, no, I ordered a soda and some chips. Can I pick a different one? Oh, well, we put Lay's in there already.
Take them.
Well,
Lay's
one time I was trying my best to be accommodating because I put in that they have a notes section, like a special notes.
Oh, they don't read those.
And no, they don't.
It's not Domino's.
Like I had one that said extra barbecue sauce on the note. I gave you the receipt. It says extra barbecue sauce. There was no barbecue sauce on that. But no, one time I wrote down there and said, for my chips, because I ordered chips and a drink, and I said, for my chips, I would like, I don't know, sun chips. And for my drink, I would like lemonade.
Perfect.
I got there and she's like, okay, so that's your sandwich, chips, and a drink, and then you wanted a lemonade and some chips? And I'm like, yeah. And she gives me my total. I'm like, wait, why is it so much? She's like, because you have this. I'm like, no, I don't want a separate chips and drink.
Yeah.
I specified my chips and drink.
Yep.
They were so confused.
So I counted, because we all took notes on the sandwiches we ate and the wraps and everything. There were so many notes here, which was fun to do. I counted 1 in 4 of my orders was messed up from the app.
1 in 4.
And it was only
that
things
sounds
like
the same for me.
And it wasn't like, hey, they missed a sandwich. It was like, hey, they gave me the wrong bread, or hey, they didn't toast this like I asked them to. Hey, there's no cheese on here. Yep. And so it was minor issues, but still 1 in 4.
I had one time when I ordered I think it was a turkey bacon guacamole protein bowl. They forgot the guacamole. And I'm like, this is the most disappointing thing I've ever had.
Yeah.
Also, every time you order, you get an email immediately.
Yeah.
And then you get another email immediately.
Both
2
are
emails.
pointless.
Just so you don't forget to eat Subway that night.
And it was just ridiculous because sometimes I wouldn't get any emails and I'm like, did it work?
Yeah.
But like 2 emails?
We need to talk about the process. If you... I'm just going to give some clues away to the homeless people out there or people that are just hungry.
Oh, no.
Just walk up to any Subway right now. Walk up, say, I got a takeout order, and they just put them on a shelf there. Yeah, that's
mine.
mine.
You don't have to say it. There's you walk in, there's a shelf there. There were times when I ordered, walked in, grabbed my sandwich, and walked out without ever seeing an employee.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
they didn't even come out from behind.
And your name's on the receipt. Like it's great because you can walk up without talking to anyone, especially at a time like this.
Yeah.
But anyone can take your food.
Well, there was one time when I went to the drive-thru and I pull up and they're like, welcome to Subway, how many sandwiches? And I was like, I actually have an online order. Okay, what's the name? And I say my name, which I don't know, I'm hiding here, Joel. And they're like, and there's like this awkward silence and she's like, what's the name? And I say it again. And there's this awkward silence again. This is like, well into the quest. Like I know the rhythm of this thing and I'm like, something's off.
Yeah.
And then she just goes, sir, meet me at the window.
Oh.
And I was like, what?
Are you in trouble?
So I pull up and I'm like, hi. And she's like, so a woman picked up your order.
Oh.
And I said, well, I'm picking up my order. My wife's at home. I'm bringing it home to her. And so apparently this woman who'd been waiting just grabbed my order, thought it was hers, and grabbed the bag and left.
Immediately before you got there?
Yeah. So
because at that point, wouldn't you as the employee remake the order?
I don't know.
Or even know that it's...
I don't know if they chased her down or if they just remade it again. But it was the weirdest experience where I was like, anyone can...
You're like, what do you want me to do? Should I just go home? I paid for it.
Well, I think we had a good range of Subways. Yeah. And it was just funny to me how they get certain things wrong no matter which Subway I went to.
Oh, yeah.
And some would chop the salads. Some wouldn't chop the salads. Some knew how to make a pizza. Some didn't know how to make a pizza.
Right.
Which, by the way, Subway's also does pizzas.
Kind of. You are going to have an awkward ordering experience no matter which way you go. Either you go on the app and it's a terrible app.
Clunky. It's clunky.
And they don't really know how to handle it. Or you mentioned it in passing. I had no idea Subway had drive-thrus.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, you didn't?
I had no idea. So that's really based on you knowing the menu very well.
Oh, yeah. Especially during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Really easy. But the thing about it is, the app is bad. Ordering Subway at a drive-thru window, I was so annoyed by those people. Like, I'd be behind someone and they'd be like, what does the turkey Italiano have on it? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'd like pull out of the drive-thru, go park, go in and grab my sandwich off the rack.
Are they asking you or each other?
Because well, they were asking the person, yeah. But I think if
Sir, could you please pull up? We don't know what's in the turkey Italiano.
I think ordering in store is probably the best because the app, it doesn't have certain sauces. Like I couldn't get barbecue sauce for the longest time on the app.
Right.
They don't have certain options on the app, but they're in store. Like the veggie patty, I couldn't order it, but I walked in the store and I'm like, do you have this? Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. So ordering in store, I think, is the best.
But
the tier
then you
one.
get the smell on you. You get the yeasty smell on you.
It's not that bad.
It's bad.
What you get, for me at least, most of the time was the awkward, what can I get you, hun? Oh, you're going to get, there's this lady that worked at one of them that was by my work that was the one that I went into most, unfortunately. And she was totally like the diner, like waitress.
Everyone wants to be called hun.
I like that.
And she forced foot long sandwiches when I only wanted a 6-inch. And weird,
and you gave
weird
in.
stuff.
Sometimes I was going to say sometimes it was a positive mistake though. Like sometimes they'd give me a foot long. I'm like, oh, I only ordered a 6-inch, and they're like, oh, keep it.
Okay.
And I was like, cool.
Well, I tell you, there was one time in a drive-thru, kind of similar to your story, but I was going up to pick up my online order. I didn't want to go into the store. And so I go up to the where you order, and I'm like, hey, I got an order for Zack. And they're like, oh, yeah, just come up to the front. And then they just walk out with my order and hand it to me and say, sorry, the car in front of you ordered a bunch of stuff.
That was cool.
Oh.
And I was just stuck in the driveway.
Right.
Oh, wait, so he was almost behind you. Oh,
there was luckily it's a slow subway, and it's in an awkward location where like you immediately go out of the drive-thru onto a very busy road. And so it was extremely tight quarters, and my car doesn't do well in tight quarters. And so I'm stuck in this drive-thru. They're making a bunch of sandwiches for this Suburban. And I'm like, oh, this is so I like awkwardly backed up through a drive-thru praying somebody didn't pull up behind me.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I'm never doing this again.
Sat there and ate your sandwich.
Yeah.
Turn on an episode of Baconsale.
Did you guys?
I get crumbs all over the car.
Did you guys tell any employees that you were doing the challenge?
No.
A couple. Nobody cared.
See, I had some. I told them yesterday because I was looking for this one sandwich. Hey, I'm trying to eat everything off the menu. Do you have this, please? And it was all just 15-year-old kids like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? And I'm like, you guys work here. You're supposed to say good things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you can actually they only allow 6 sandwiches per order when you do it on the online app.
Oh, okay.
So I had to do a separate order a bunch of times because I have more than 6 people in my family.
Right.
Also, I figured out that because they have the rewards every time if you order in the app, because you can order in the app, you automatically get points, or you can actually go in the store and like scan your QR code and it will give you the points for the in-store order.
Maybe.
Maybe. Sometimes.
That was a disaster for me almost every time.
You can also pay for it with just scanning the QR code. But
that only worked one time.
I did the math, and according to my math, which isn't great math, but I figured out for every $50 you spend at Subway, you get $2 back. That's the reward.
We got a lot of $2 rewards.
We did. I always loved it because like the coins start falling when you get a reward. I'm like, I won.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
What did you win?
$2 off.
Yeah, not much.
And coupons were the worst. Trying to use any sort of promo code in there. Sometimes it gave me it wouldn't work at all, and other times it would give me a promo for something I didn't have, and I'm like, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah,
I have had a lot expire, but I currently have $4 in rewards and a free birthday cookie.
Big money.
Speaking of things that are better in store than in app, like the breads.
Yes.
Like we on our spreadsheet, we had all the menu items, but then we also had toppings and sauces and bread types. Because I remember back in the day, they're like being like 5 different types of bread. And you're like, I want this one or this one. But in the app, it was basically white, which is now called Italian. Italian is the regular white bread.
White got canceled. So, yeah.
And then they have 9-grain honey oat and they have wheat.
Yeah.
I think that's it. And sometimes
they do have Italian herbs and cheese.
They do.
You can get off the app.
But sometimes the app, you couldn't get it. Sometimes it was just the one, like going in store, you could see what they got. And I went in store, like I need to cross off all these other breads, and they didn't even have them anymore.
So at every single one of my Subways, they got rid of the following. They got rid of jalapeno cheese, Monterey cheddar, Parmesan oregano. So a lot of the flavorful.
Yeah, I love the better breads.
Like the fatty breads. There was a rye bread, rosemary sea salt, all the good tasting ones. I'm like, that would be a pretty good combo. They're all really basic except for Italian herbs and cheese.
Yeah. So they got rid of them.
This is a pandemic thing? Or
I thought it might have been, but I also think based on history we'll talk about very soon, I wonder if they're just slimming it down a bit.
Simplifying the menu.
Because, if you're baking all those breads and no one's eating them, that's just wasted money.
All right, friends. Should we get into the history of Subway?
Almost.
Okay.
I just have a couple more things I want to bring up real quick. In particular, the Fresh Fit. We actually had a separate section for Fresh Fit sandwiches. Come to find out, it's just them pointing at which ones are the healthiest.
Yes.
It's not.
No such
They're
thing.
not different from anything else.
There's a couple conspiracies on the menu.
And I don't know if you guys had the same. Oh, yeah, we're going to get the conspiracies. I don't know if you guys had the same experience for me, but every time I'd go there and they'd only, like with napkins, they'd only give me 1 or 2 rainforests worth.
Oh, I get one.
One napkin?
My Subways give me one, and it's never enough, and it's moist.
They were giving me stacks. Like, I would come up with a stack of napkins every time, and I'm like, you hate the earth.
No, I get a damp napkin, and that's all I get.
Really? Zach, what about you? What was your napkin experience?
Zack, what was your napkin experience?
It varied. I don't know. So yeah, sometimes I get a ton, but most of the time I got a normal amount.
By the way, we'd like to apologize to any of our Commonwealth friends in the UK or Australia. We mean serviettes.
Yes, it is just, it was weird. Like I had a stack in our drawer at home where we could just pull Subway napkins
But they have the smell. Why would you keep those?
They were in the bag. They were fine. And then I'd like to talk about the fresh melt very briefly.
Oh, because we're probably not talking about it in the list?
Well, because it was one of those things where I don't think by the time the show airs it's going to be available anymore. Because they come out.
A new promotion.
We were just about finished. We were almost done with this quest. And they were like, fresh melts. Look how melty they are. The cheese stretches in between them. Eat fresh, melt.
You know, I would buy fresh melts every day if I heard that commercial.
I would too.
Yeah, why is it like a monster truck rally?
So then Zack, I don't know why I keep blaming Zack for this, but he kept bringing it up. He's like,
I did force a couple of extra items.
He's the Subway news guy.
He's like, we need to try at least one fresh melt.
Yes.
And so in theory, it's cheesier and
it's double the cheese.
Yeah, and that's all it is. Like literally when you say fresh melt, they just put extra cheese on there.
They cook the bread
it's like
differently.
Panini press.
Yes.
Well, they say that. They say they cook the bread differently.
They do.
They put it in a special oven.
They do.
So I go in to go order one, and they say, "Oh, we don't make that anymore." And I'm like, "It just came out." And they said, "Yeah, we don't make those because our oven caught on fire when we tried to make it." So, and then I was like, "Okay, well, give me one of the flatizzas. How do you say it? Flatizza?
Yeah,
the pizzas." And they're like, we don't know what that is, but we could probably try to make it. And I'm like, what is this? This is on your menu. Well, not yours.
So the reason the oven probably caught on fire is for these melts. For example, I got the steak and cheese melt, and they make it like a normal sandwich. And of course, they put in extra cheese.
Yeah.
They then wrap it up, put it in a paper bag, and flatten it. Right,
Maybe
and so
for
it's
you.
flattened, so it's in a paper bag, in an oven, flattened.
Yeah, they put it in a paper bag.
And that is how the fire probably caught.
Here was my process.
And they give it the little grill burn marks.
So and that's the thing is I went to another one because that one didn't do it because their oven caught on fire. And I said, I'd like a fresh melt. And they kind of go, okay. And then he starts making the sandwich. And he's like, what toppings do you want on it? And then he gets real serious and goes, once we put this in the oven, you can't add anything afterwards. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So I order what I was going to order. They slap
the most serious warning from a fast food employee.
These are expensive, too, because it's basically extra cheese.
Right.
They put it in the bag. They threw it in the regular old oven that every other sandwich goes into. Put it in for, I watched them, 30 seconds. It came out. The cheese wasn't even melted. If I toasted my sandwich, it would have been more melted. But it was just a nothing.
So you had a bad experience. Zach, I believe you and I both had great experiences.
I thought it was kind of fun.
I thought it was fun too.
Although it is weird. So they make your sandwich and then throw it in the thing. I don't know how the grill marks get there. It's magic.
Yeah, you told me to look out for it.
There's little gnomes in there that add the grill marks.
Yeah, there must be
grill gnomes.
But then what's weird is they have this super hot oven that like some franchises are not serving this sandwich because it's too hot.
Yeah.
Then they pull it out and just throw it on the table in front of you and like, there you go. By the way, that's hot. Here's some napkins.
Yeah, some
good luck.
Franchise owners a lot of them aren't doing this because it's a danger to their employees. And
it's a truly toasted sandwich because normally when you get it toasted, it just makes the bread dry.
It's not a Quiznos toast.
Right. It's a crouton situation.
Yes.
Like I hate toasted because I don't like eating my sandwich on a crouton.
Cold.
Right.
You got the worst fresh melt in the history of fresh melts.
Mine was quite good.
Which is a short history, admittedly.
Yeah, so, Joel, are you done complaining?
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly, my steak and cheese fresh melt, pretty good.
Mine too.
I think I would maybe have one of those.
It is worth the Subway fire for that sandwich.
No, it's not going to be around for much longer.
I will use my $4 and redeem my birthday cookie on a fresh melt.
That's a flash in a pan is what this is.
All right.
So am I, but you like me.
Yeah, we do. Okay, let's talk about Subway real quick before we get on to our list of favorites and least favorites, which is a pretty lengthy list.
Yeah.
So
we talked about how it's the largest franchise largest fast food restaurant chain in the world
by location.
By location. More than half of its locations are in the United States, and it is according to Wikipedia, this was knowledge and truth, the fastest growing franchise in the world. Which I went, still?
Actually, no, not anymore. Not the past 4 years, and we'll get to that.
Figured, yeah.
So in 1965, there was a 17-year-old named Fred DeLuca, and he had this idea. He wanted to make sandwiches. And Subway sandwiches at that time, hoagies, if you will. And so he...
Well, it wasn't that he wanted to make sandwiches. He wanted to make money.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And his buddy,
he had an idea.
Peter Buck, said, hey, here's $1,000, start a sandwich shop to put you through college, to medical school.
Right. And that was it. That was the original loan, just $1,000.
Yeah.
So we started this little
shop. So it was
shop.
one fresh melt.
Yeah, pretty much at that point. They're actually, I think, 49 cents at that point.
In 1965.
And so this just took off immediately. Like there was a real demand for it. And so, yeah, he created the sandwich shop in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And he just said, hey, yeah, like you said, Joel, I just hope this pays for my college and medical school bills.
Well, and originally they called it Pete's Submarines.
For once again, Dr. Peter Buck, who gave the money.
But when they promoted it, it sounded like Pizza Marines.
Yes.
So they ended up changing the name to Pete's Subway, and then in 1968 it got shortened to just Subway. By the way, you guys know what the best-selling sandwich of Subway is? Zach, you want to take a guess?
The chicken bacon ranch.
Turkey.
You say turkey?
Yeah.
The best-selling sandwich
or the cold cut combo
is the B.M.T.
Oh.
Which stands for, if you don't know, biggest, meatiest, tastiest.
I hate that name so much.
It's got pepperoni, salami, and ham.
It used to be Brooklyn Manhattan Transit.
Yeah, they used to have like kind of more themed names of like a subway system.
But now it's named after something like a firehouse.
Seriously?
Biggest, meatiest, tastiest.
Biggest, meatiest, tastiest. That's
Sunday,
the best
Sunday.
I honestly had no idea.
You know their slogan, Eat Fresh. Their employees are called sandwich artists, not just employees.
There were some early goals set by this pair where they knew that they were going to franchise out. It was a slightly different model than we talked about in the McDonald's show, where they were selling real estate other than franchises.
Right.
From that point, it took off. And jump ahead a little bit, but they opened their first international Subway in Bahrain in 1984.
Yeah, and then they actually opened their first one in India, I believe, in 2001.
Yeah.
I want to say. And that one's interesting because, in deference to Hindu beliefs, they don't sell beef products and they have a lot more vegetarian options, which is kind of cool.
I actually think that's kind of cool. In fact, they have like many just fully kosher Subways.
Yeah, they open kosher ones, which they have no pork-based products and soy-based cheese. They had at most, like at their peak, they had 12 kosher Subway locations. But then they had a lack of support due to it's a little more expensive. And they couldn't be open on Saturdays.
The smell is the worst.
And so they started shutting them down.
Yeah.
That kind of dovetails a little bit into the controversies I want to talk about, because in 1989, the U.S. Small Business Administration refused small business loans to Subway.
Why?
Because they had a clause in their contract for their franchisees that said that they could seize and purchase any of the franchises without a cause.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, nah, that's not cool.
That's not good at all.
Apparently there's still some weird franchise stuff. In September 1999, about 32 customers in Seattle contracted hepatitis A from Subway outlets. They traced it back to that. Not great, but that someone did get a $10 million out-of-court settlement from that, so good for them. Then you got Jared.
What's your hesitation here?
Well,
Jared was a big
Jared Fogle,
the spokesperson for them. All he ate was Subway. He lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, so he started in January 2000 and became kind of the spokesperson. He was an everyman who just became a spokesperson for Subway because he claimed that he lost over 200 pounds just by eating healthily at Subway.
Right.
And in fact, Subway attributed between 1/3 and 1/2 of its growth from 1998 to 2001 to Jared Fogle, because he was the face of Subway.
And then things went bad.
Then they ended their relationship in 2015 because he turns out he's a creepy perv.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they said, okay, you're no longer doing this anymore. And they started doing their Eat Fresh kind of right there. That became their new slogan. Real quick, they did the Sub Club. I don't know if you guys remember that.
No.
In 2005, they had the Sub Club. It was like these stamps that you could do to earn sandwiches. But apparently people were making tons of counterfeit stamps, and because online auction sites were becoming a thing, good printers were becoming a thing, so people were just cheating the system, so they got rid of that. Now let's talk about...
So in 2013, Australian teen Matt Corby complained that the footlong was only 11 inches long. So Subway responded, in quotes, "With regards to the size of the bread and calling it a footlong, Subway footlong is a registered trademark as a descriptive name for the sub sold in Subway restaurants and not intended to be a measurement of length. So Subway footlong does not mean 12 inches. It means it's a general sandwich."
Well, not only that, but they've actually been working to trademark the name footlong, and they sued a company because they were using it, and they still haven't like got it yet, but they're definitely sending out letters to people saying you can't say footlong on your sandwich.
Right. And by the way, the case for that Australian teen, that they basically said, yeah, a lot are 11 inches, a lot are 12 inches, generally 12 inches. We're going to throw the case out.
Yeah, they tried to get this class action suit going of people suing Subway.
Yes.
Because their footlongs weren't a foot long.
Right.
And the judge was like, yeah, no.
So I want to jump right over into like some success and decline of Subway because,
yes,
as we all remember, as I sang at the beginning poorly.
$5.
Yep.
$5. $5 foot long. Any.
So in 2008, they launched that campaign, and it became their most successful promotion ever. We all remember
Huge success.
Which I remember hating that tune when it first came out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a terrible jingle.
But
it stuck.
Yeah.
And I totally got into it later on.
And at that time, any footlong, right? For example, one of my favorite footlong sandwiches is about $8.89, right? But I could get it for $5, and it was amazing.
Well, it started out as a limited time promotion.
Yes.
But then it was so popular, they're like, okay, we're going to have certain subs.
They pull it back, people get mad.
Yeah.
And then it would come back.
Yeah.
And then it was certain subs.
Yeah, like Arby's 5 for $5.
Right.
But then they said, this is a pretty popular one. What if we did certain subs that are always going to be $5 footlongs? And that became the thing.
It's the meatball. Meatball's $5.
Cold cut combo.
Yeah.
Man, cheapest meats we got. Why are we from Brooklyn all of a sudden?
Don't know. It's more like,
because we like meatball.
it's like the cold cut combo is like pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about some of their competition and the failure, because they have been declining. They've actually lost about 4,000 to 5,000 locations worldwide.
It's not good. It's for the last couple of years, it's actually doing not so good.
So
They have a lot of locations to spare, though.
They
They're
do.
fine.
So, but I mean, could they go the way of Blockbuster? Well, I don't know. So they've been losing money for the past 4 years, and franchisees say it's because their promotions that Subway corporate is putting on them is cutting into profits.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because I feel like it's still really expensive. And then also they're getting heavy competition from other fast casual restaurants like Panera, Firehouse, and you could look around any corner now, and there's a ton of sandwich places out there.
Everyone's jumping on this.
That honestly are better.
Well, are they better though, or are they just better because we've had this for so long?
They're better,
We've
Joel.
grown accustomed to Subway, and we're like, oh yeah, that's the tried and true.
Joel,
What's this new thing?
They're better. This is the Walmart of sandwich places.
Is Blimpie's better?
Nope.
Okay.
Blimpie's, is that still around?
Nope.
It's still around.
Yeah.
Is it?
I wanted to bring this up.
Hoagie Yogi?
Because a lot of people bash on Subway because of the yoga mat chemical.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It was true. In 2014, they made alterations to their bread because this food blogger had this 50,000 signatures on a petition to get them to remove, I'm not going to say it right, azodicarbonamide.
Great job.
Azodicarbonamide, I can't say it. But it's a chemical that helps whiten the dough and allows the sandwich bread to break more quickly. It is sometimes called the yoga mat chemical because of its widespread use in foamed plastics, but they did end up removing that in 2014.
Oh, so just 25 years of me eating Subway, I was eating
no
that
more
chemical.
yoga mats in Subway bread.
It still feels like
If
it.
you can call it bread.
They've also cut down on sodium just for everyone's health reasons. So they cut down.
Oh, that's why it's not good anymore.
pretty much. If you've tasted their eggs, you realize they cut the sodium down.
Well, and then in 2020,
yeah.
the Supreme Court of Ireland ruled that Subway bread had too high of a sugar count to be considered bread for like taxing purposes, like the way they tax food and sweets.
Yeah.
And so it got put in the sweet category. There was also some controversy regarding their chicken. There was the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation decided to do an investigation, and they tested the Subway chicken, and their results, and I'm phrasing this very carefully, their results said that the chicken items tested 53.6% and 42.8% of the DNA was chicken. The rest was soy.
Oh, maybe their jingle should be Subway, eat fresh rubber chicken, because it's so chewy.
But Subway has said that this was false, absolutely false, and misleading, and demanded to be retracted.
So they got their feelings hurt.
Well, they say it's chicken, and they also got blamed
Pink,
based on their
pink slime situation.
Yeah.
And they said there was a claim in 2021, just barely, that they said their tuna was not really tuna, and they were like, that is absolutely false. It is real tuna.
And we've talked about controversies here. Honestly, from the creation of this restaurant, it started pretty noble, and there's been a few problems like any fast food place is going to have.
Yeah.
Right? It's they do what they do. You know what to expect. Obviously, if you get it off the app, maybe you expect a little bit different, but if you go into the store, you can usually pick your favorite sandwich and have the same experience every single time.
Yeah. But that's,
give or take cheese.
But that's the thing, is that they are closing a lot. In like 2017, they closed 800 stores. 2018, they closed 500 more. They just keep closing down stores. And I'm like, I hope they do okay. Because I like them. Fine.
It's tier 3 now.
Well, it was
we'll
a
get
rough
into
one.
it.
Normally when we do these food challenges, I will go to the place and grab my favorites on the way in and usually eat them before the show. I didn't do that this time.
No.
I don't
Guess
know.
what I did?
What?
Taco Bell.
I did Del Taco.
Yeah, nice.
You guys missed a big point.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Subway is the restaurant that sponsored Happy Gilmore and thus gave him enough money to go buy his grandma's house at auction.
Well, see,
tier
that-
one.
I mean, you guys, that's a big detail.
Zach,
You missed.
that's fiction.
Yeah.
You want to know reality? Subway saved Chuck, the TV series Chuck.
No.
After the second season of Chuck, they were going to... And Subway had a product placement thing going on in the show. and they were going to cancel the second season of Chuck. And then the fans got together and they had this Save Chuck campaign where they told everyone to purchase a foot-long sub from Subway on April 27, 2009, the date of the season finale for Series 2. So they did, showed some love for it, and Subway struck a major sponsorship deal with NBC to cover the costs of the third season.
Okay, I'm going to apologize to Subway right now because their social media is great, and they're huge fans of the Snyder Cut, and they've been supporting it for the past 2 years.
No.
So Subway, I'm sorry.
One show.
We can't.
Without talking about the Snyder
It was
Cut.
kind of amazing. Thank you, Subway.
Okay, so yeah, Subway has some positives too.
Yes.
But yeah.
And they do have positives. Like, we're going to go through half positives, half negatives. Our favorite and least favorite in some different award categories for everything Subway has to offer.
Before we do, I would like to sing a song for you guys.
You prepared?
Oh, yeah.
You prepared?
Yes, it's become a tradition, so I'm just going to embrace it now and just sing this ridiculous song and get it over with. So here we go. Eat fresh, yeah. There is no fryer. I'm not a liar. Believe when we say we conquered Subway. Salads, protein bowls, and wraps. We chose on glitchy apps just so you'd say that we conquered Subway. Wheat or white, it's actually called Italian now. Wheat or white, our chicken tastes like puppy chow. Wheat or white, why didn't we lose so much weight as we conquered Subway?
Whoa, so good.
Oh, I forgot about this song.
Dude,
I'm so
stepped it
happy.
up. That is good.
That was very high.
By the way, one take.
One take.
That was
I'm
awesome.
so proud of you.
So high.
That might be my favorite one.
So yeah, there you go. There's our introduction to what we talk about.
right now.
Let's get into it, shall we? Zach, you want to introduce the categories and we'll jump through these hoops?
So like Kent said, we're basically going to go with the positive and the negative, and we'll kind of go back and forth here. But let's just get started at the top with the best sandwich.
Because this is what people go to Subway for.
Yeah.
We should clarify. We are following normal Baconsale category rules, right? Where if you name something for one category, you can't really use it for another.
Exactly.
There's a little fudging on this one, but for the most part.
Well,
right.
and I'm going to say one here that I'll tell you what, individually, it's not that great. But when you put it all together, it's tasty. Because I'm going with the steak and cheese.
Has this always been your favorite, or is this a new favorite because of the challenge?
No, it's a favorite previous to the challenge.
Okay.
So when I get it, by the way, it's shaved steak and American cheese are the basis of this. And I usually get like a Chipotle Southwest swirl on it.
Great.
Maybe some jalapenos, some banana peppers. This is one of my favorites.
It's like discount Chili's.
Yeah, it's true.
This is honestly like a discount cheesesteak.
It feels different than Subway.
Yeah.
But it's one of their most expensive sandwiches, too. So it's not like I'm getting a deal because maybe I should just get a real cheesesteak. But I do enjoy the steak and cheese sandwich. I don't know why, because like I said, the individual, if I just eat that shaved steak, it's not very good.
Right.
But on the sandwich, it's tasty. So that's my best sandwich for me.
I find it interesting
Zack,
that you picked this one, Joel, because this appears on a lot of the worst sandwich lists for a lot of people.
It's inconsistent in quality because of the steak sometimes.
Definitely. Maybe it's just the Chipotle sauce. But
Zach, what about you?
I'm up next. All right. I'm going to give best sandwich to the spicy Italian. I think this is I think this is a delicious sandwich, but here's the big advantage. It's like almost the opposite of your steak and cheese. It's inexpensive. And that's why I'm
It's always on the $5 menu.
Yeah.
Well, the spicy Italian, what is it? It's salami, pepperoni, and one other Italian ham, I think, or something like that.
Pepperoni. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I think it's tasty. It's simple. It's a definitely a go-to for a lot of people.
It has so much sodium, but it tastes so good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. This one just has a lot of salt. Like every time I got it, my notes say salty. So salty. Oh, there it is. The B.M.T has salami, spicy pepperoni, and Black Forest ham. This is just pepperoni and salami.
Okay.
It's missing the ham.
Yeah, the spicy Italian's a rock star. Not what I chose, because I chose the sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Oh.
So this one...
So the guy was just bashing on chicken.
This is the one chicken sandwich that I am all about. And honestly, 30% of the chicken on this sandwich, I take one chew because then it's like a bouncy ball. Like, remember when your kid used to eat bouncy balls?
No, I didn't.
I did. I'd chew on them. I'd be like, I'm going to spit this out. And that's what happens. But still, there is 70% good chicken on this sandwich. And the sauce. You have to get the extra sweet onion sauce.
It's good sweet onion sauce.
It's like sweet, obviously. It complements the bread.
It's like a teriyaki sauce.
Yeah. And it pairs very well with any veggie. And it's expensive.
I feel like this is one of the very most popular sandwiches at Subway, which is strange for
mainstream.
me.
This is one that doesn't need like an additional dressing. Like the meat is enough.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I had never had it until this challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you like it?
It was very good. Yes. Let's go to our next category, which, like I said, we're going to go positive and negative. Let's talk about the worst sandwich.
All right, Zach, you go first on this one.
I think this is going to be controversial, but this is also based on my experience. This might just be the worst sandwich I had in this challenge. But I'm going to give worst sandwich to the buffalo chicken sandwich.
Okay.
I don't really...
I was mentally preparing myself for what you might say. I did not expect that one.
I don't love buffalo sauce. This was a miserable, runny, gross sandwich.
If that is not somewhere on Kent's one of his best lists, I will go get a tuna sub and eat it.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut then, right now. But no, it's true. They add so much extra sauce because it's not only their creamy buffalo sauce, but they add ranch.
And it's also honestly, so it's buffalo and ranch, and that it was too much.
But in sandwich form, this is the best option because the bread soaks it up. Whereas if you get a salad, it's soaked.
I got this buffalo chicken sandwich. I got the buffalo chicken sandwich on a cold day, and it was this warm sub, and it had the warm buffalo sauce on it. And I was like, I toasted it, and I was like, this is so got American cheese on it. And I was like, this is what I needed today.
This sounds like you're explaining like Christmas morning. You got a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Wrapped my buffalo chicken sandwich.
Thank you, Mother. So I'm going to go next. This may be a hot take. The chicken bacon ranch sandwich is the worst.
What
sandwich?
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
You cannot go from chicken teriyaki is the best, chicken bacon is the worst.
I never once had a good variation of chicken bacon ranch anything on the menu because
that's one of my favorites.
The bacon, 13% of the time, worked. It was fine.
I'd give it at least 60% of the time.
No. I never had that good of experience. So chewy chicken, the bacon that seems like it was formed in like some Play-Doh mold, it's the worst bacon I've ever had at any sort of fast food place. And their warm ranch. Their ranch.
You just said the buffalo chicken. That was me.
Yeah. No. I actually don't like any sort of creamy chicken sandwiches from this place.
Oh, not even the Caesar?
No, I'll get there. Okay. I will get there. A little bit of honey mustard would have saved the sandwich.
Okay.
But on its own, like basic ingredients, which is what I got, I hated it. I made it 3 bites in.
Okay. For me, there's ones I would definitely put on worst sandwich, but I couldn't because I used it in another category in another form.
Sure.
Because that's what we said is if you use this one base,
because there are 4 forms.
Yes, of protein bowl,
Pokemon
salad,
evolutions,
rapid sandwich. So I said my worst sandwich was, and it was more just kind of experience, was Veggie Delight. Because it felt like it felt like a salad on bread.
Yeah.
Like it was just salad. I mean, I don't need meat at every meal, but for some reason, without the meat, it was like, maybe it's because I got like the Subway vinaigrette on it, but it tastes like I was just eating a salad and there was bread in the way.
What do you generally put on your Veggie Delight? Because a lot of people will overload it with all the veggies instead of meat, right?
I put a lot of veggies on there.
Because you're not too picky about veggies,
I probably had more veggies in this challenge than I have on my normal day-to-day life.
Oh, that's healthy.
It is, and it was good for me. But this just felt like something was missing. It was like I said, salad on bread. So it was disappointing. So I put it on bread.
And I think it's because you can basically make this exact same sandwich with any other sandwich. You can put as many veggies as you would on a Veggie Delight on a spicy Italian or
and
a B.M.T.
it is slightly less expensive than other sandwiches.
Because there's nothing there.
Exactly.
I don't know. I didn't know that they made wraps before we did this challenge. So let's talk about the best wrap.
My favorite wrap was the steak and guacamole wrap.
The Southwest. It was like a Southwest
Chipotle. It's a Chipotle steak and guacamole.
Yeah.
The 2 wraps you can buy are the spinach
and tomato basil.
And tomato basil. Yeah. And I do prefer the tomato basil to the spinach wrap.
You can tell a difference?
Yes.
Because I did a blind taste test multiple times, and it didn't make a difference.
So what I did is the ones I was like, oh, that's a really kind of bitter taste. It was always the spinach one for some reason. It had the tomato basil wrap, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes their guacamole at Subway, it's a mixed bag. Like it can taste like dirt, or it can be like really nice and refreshing. But this worked together. Joel, kind of like you were talking about with the sandwich.
Yeah.
Everything combined tasted amazing. And I'm like, this is not a Subway option. This is something better.
You know what the problem is, though, with wraps, though, is they can't toast them like they do sandwiches.
Yeah.
And so if you don't get the hot toppings, the hot sandwiches don't work as well in a wrap form. I didn't.
It's true. It's true. Like a meatball, for example. For some reason, with the steak, this thing was perfect. And it was probably the sauce as well.
Probably sat in your car for a while.
I gave this one a straight A. And there are very few things on this menu that got an A.
And that's one of the most expensive ones on the menu.
It is.
Because it's got guacamole and steak.
Yep.
Steak shavings.
All right, Joel.
My best wrap, because I had a couple that I would have liked if they were warmer, but they weren't. And so I went with one that works well, cool, and has guacamole as well. I went with the turkey, bacon, and guacamole wrap.
Okay.
So this is a Quiznos ripoff. I mean, having worked at Quiznos, the turkey bacon guacamole was one of the biggest sellers. Oh, yeah. I love it. But I think it tastes good. And while I didn't like any wrap as much as I like sandwiches. Every time I'd have a wrap, my notes say, it was good. I think I'd like it better as a sandwich. But this is nice because they just made it delicious. And this is when I did the protein bowl version of this, when I forgot the guacamole, which is very disappointing. But this is, it's turkey, it's bacon, it's guacamole. You can get ranch on it, and then it's just a delicious wrap. And it can be good cold, and so that's why I chose that one. And I don't care whether it's tomato basil or spinach wrap because
it's all the same.
They all taste gross.
Not gross,
dry and gross.
Like I said, I never had the wraps going into this challenge, and I feel like they had the potential to fix Subway's number one problem, which is the bread.
That's the number one problem. That's the number one solution.
I don't think their bread's very good, and I really don't think their wraps are very good. So they have the spinach and the tomato basil wraps, and I don't like either one of them that much. But I did have a lot of fun with the chicken bacon ranch wrap. For whatever reason, when I had it,
there we go.
I thought it was very good.
There you go. See, Kent,
I disagree.
Someone on this show has taste.
He got good chicken on that one. You got lucky.
Honestly, I got lucky, and I think my chicken was on the warmer side. It wasn't like it's been sitting in the cooler all day. Maybe they just finished grilling it up and threw it in. But yeah, it was
grill
pretty
the
good.
chicken.
They don't grill the chicken.
They thaw the chicken.
Do they make anything fresh in store?
The bread?
Like any sort of breakfast items or anything?
I doubt it.
So.
Yeah,
it's all reheated food.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the only wrap where I was like, ooh, this is good. Because I was eating the chicken bacon ranch sandwich, and I thought this had potential to be better as a wrap. And I actually thought it was. So, there we go.
I can't think of anything that was better as a wrap for me.
You got lucky.
Yeah, I really did. But let's talk about the worst wrap.
Now, I just was agreeing with Zach. Now I'm going to completely disagree with him because I said my worst wrap was the spicy Italian wrap.
What?
Because it was a pile of salty Italian meat, and it was just a little overwhelming. Now, granted, once again, I couldn't use the one I probably would have wanted to use on this because I'm saving it for another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this was one where, and this was actually the one where, I was driving, and sometimes they cut the wraps, sometimes they don't. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
But
they're big, by the way. They are filling if you get a wrap.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I'm actually driving. I'm on a parking lot. I was driving a Walmart parking lot, eating the Walmart of sandwich shops, as Kent said.
Yeah.
But a little bit, like I think it was like an olive or something like that, fell out onto my lap. And I'm like, oh no. And as I'm turning the wheel, I have my wrap in my hand, and I turn the wheel and pick something up, and the whole rest of the wrap just falls in my lap. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wrap in the lap.
Wrap in the lap.
Take it easy.
But people think of wraps as like low-calorie options.
Yes.
These are not low-calorie options. I mean, just looking at some of the wraps here, like the chicken bacon ranch is 800 calories.
Wow.
You get the meatball marinara, 770 calories. Chipotle Southwest steak and cheese, that's yours, Kent.
Right.
710 calories.
It's basically a burrito.
The spicy Italian, which I was just talking about, 820 calories.
If they lowered the cost and decreased the size, I think these would be fine.
Oh, yeah, because they're expensive. Because these aren't 6-inch sandwiches. These are hearty.
It's their equivalent of a footlong.
Yeah, it's a footlong sandwich just in wrap form. Zach, what's your worst wrap?
My worst wrap also comes
other than the wrap in the lap.
Wrap in
other
the
than
lap.
Kent's wrap earlier in the show.
My worst wrap also comes with the story of the experience of it. So I'm going to go with the chicken Caesar, which as a sub, honestly, the chicken Caesar surprised me. I'd never had it, and I thought it was pretty good. I got this as a wrap, and I watched them make it. And I was a ways into the challenge. I had seen people make them. I knew what was going on. And, it's a wrap. It's like a burrito, right? And we know what those are supposed to look like, the kind of the width. And, there's a slight diagonal cut.
Yeah.
Well, this person must have been brand new. So they made it, and it was almost a complete square.
Like a square?
Yeah, like a square. Like even on each side, square.
Like a crunch wrap kind of situation you got going on here?
Much more like a crunch wrap.
The Subway cube.
And then she, like the lady that was helping him, sort of, kind of called and said, yeah, you do that as a diagonal line. And he cut it like it was a grilled cheese. He cut it corner to corner. So I have a square, thick wrap that is cut corner to corner.
That must have been really easy to eat.
Yeah, I had to eat it like a taco. It was it was terrible. It was a terrible experience, a terribly made thing. And I was like, I was kind of passive aggressive when I was there too. I was like, this is going to be very difficult to eat.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
We didn't really specify before, but I wanted to clarify. When we said we moved away from the default toppings, we basically just said, okay, pick your favorite toppings and then just put those on each sandwich to have kind of a control.
As long as you eat every topping on the menu at some point.
Yeah, and we had a little checklist of toppings and stuff like that we checked off as we went along. And I'm assuming, Zach, that you are a topping guy, so that was a pretty messy sandwich is why that brought to my mind.
Not on the chicken Caesar. The chicken Caesar, I think, was pretty simple.
Really? I basically add
so creamy and
spinach
gross.
and tomatoes and olives and pickles to everything.
Yeah,
no way.
That's
banana peppers and
pretty much the default. I think I add like 3 to 5 vegetables, but I think I kept it a little bit simpler on this one because Caesar salad is pretty simple.
Yeah,
but yeah. This one, I will never get it again. And also, just for whatever reason, my wrap was kind of hard. Like the tortilla.
The tortilla? Yeah, they're always dry and terrible.
This was just a really bad experience, but as I was eating it, I was like, it doesn't taste good. It did not enough salt.
All right, my worst wrap is the turkey bacon guacamole wrap.
Come on. What? Do you look at my notes before these shows and just say, what does Joel love? I hate it.
I actually just listened to you and I'm like, okay, Joel likes it. I'm a hate
Typing it in now.
I'm going to attribute this to a bad experience because everything in here should be good.
Uh-huh.
And for you, it was your favorite thing.
Yeah.
For me, here are the notes I wrote. What the heck? I said, is it the urban garlic oil? Because that's what I got for the dressing. Mm-hmm. Is it the wrap? Is the bacon off? Everything tasted off. And in my notes, I say, tastes like farm.
Ew.
It honestly feels like, I don't know if they sabotaged my wrap.
No, I'm telling you, it's the urban garlic oil. Because I noted the urban garlic oil in my sandwich smelled like cigarette smoke.
Because it seems like they used my spinach wrap, because it was a spinach wrap. They cleaned the floor with it, and then they put the ingredients in it because it tasted like a state fair, no joke.
Oh. See, there was times, like, I narrowed it down to banana peppers. I love banana peppers on my sandwich.
Right.
But they were hit and miss on this one specific one.
Cucumbers were hit and miss for me.
So this one specific Subway that I'd go to, I wouldn't get banana peppers from them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because I was like, they throw off the sandwich.
Yeah, but like the turkey is always fine there. Turkey is very consistent.
Yeah, the lunch
but
meats
once
are
again,
pretty strict.
guacamole was awful, and the bacon was horrible as well.
You got to try that one again.
I will try it again because it was. I gave it straight F.
Well, see, I probably would have given this one to the Subway Melt, which I like. It's ham, bacon, and cheese.
Yes.
Or ham, turkey, and bacon cheese. But it wasn't a melt. It wasn't melty. It was a cold thing. But I don't know.
All right. Now we're going to move over to the protein bowl. I'll go first on this one. But Joel, will you please tell me what a protein bowl is?
So we tried to figure that out.
I don't know that we know, and we just ate everything.
Well, okay.
No, it's a demographic meal.
Much like the fresh melt, I doubt the protein bowl is going to be around for a long time.
Right.
Because a salad is essentially a 6-inch sandwich put on a salad.
Yes.
This, in theory, a protein bowl is a foot-long sandwich put on a salad.
Correct.
In theory.
So it's more meat.
That's what they say. But there were multiple times, there was a whole conspiracy we began to unfold because my wife and I both ordered I would order a protein bowl, she'd order a salad of the same type.
You're forgetting the differences. The salad has a clear plastic bowl,
yes, and the
protein bowl has a black.
Because it's for men.
Bowl. Honestly, protein I think that's the case.
It is. It's a salad for men.
Right.
But we went, I brought it home and I said, that kind of looks the same. Like, really the same amount of meat. We got out a food scale and we put it on there, and they weighed the same exact amount, 500 kilograms, both the salad and the protein bowl. Keep in mind, protein bowls are generally more expensive.
Yes.
There's only a couple times where I went out there.
In order to uncover this controversy, you had to use the metric system?
Yes. So we measured like almost every protein bowl and salad after that. We measured it. And most of the time, the weight was either the same or negligible. I shouldn't say that. I'd say half and half. So I think it really depended on the place you went. But protein bowls are a complete ripoff. Yeah. And every single note where I get a protein bowl, my wife gets a salad, I'm like, oh, hers is chopped up.
Yes.
Because of the protein bowl. Like if you get a spicy Italian, it's a lump of lunch meat on the top, like rolled up like a burrito of just
almost
lunch
like
meat.
they just opened the deli meat package and threw it on the top.
Threw it on the top.
Yes.
And then you got whole tomatoes, whole cucumbers, and nothing's chopped up. Where the salad, they actually get in there and kind of chop it all up nicely together. But you have to get your stupid little plastic fork and cut the things to pieces if you want to eat them.
That depends on the store as well.
You want to get jealous? There were not one but two different occasions where I had a protein bowl that was chopped up.
I had only one time where that happened, and I was so happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, protein bowl is a waste of time, a waste of money. Don't get them. It's my personal recommendation.
But they are strangely expensive.
What was your favorite?
My favorite was the sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Divine.
I found that mine, as far as the protein bowls versus the salads, my location that I went to the most often, I did get more meat. And then with this one specifically, I tried, instead of getting lettuce and spinach, I just did double spinach. And that I think was a good call, because instead of having the shredded lettuce that they use at Subway is not good for a salad.
It's not good.
No.
Yeah.
And so I just did double spinach, and then I definitely had extra meat on this one. And it was just really good. Definitely something I would order again on purpose.
And with that, because sometimes
you'd order a protein bowl again?
I would. Yeah.
It's tough because they have limited dressings there as well for both salads and protein bowls.
Yeah, what the heck was with that?
So sweet onion would be good because it has a natural sauce with it.
It does.
And I'm going to throw it out there. I have also, when I did the salad version of this, I tried it with ranch. It was also very good. You wouldn't think, but
I
it
hate
was.
the ranch.
That sounds good.
Okay, I went with the B.M.T.
The biggest, meatiest, tastiest?
Yeah, and this was one of the few occasions where they cut up the meat. So it has the 3 varieties of meat, and I do love spicy Italian. This one adds the extra edge of the ham. Is there an extra edge to ham?
No, I think the ham tones it down because the other meats are so salty that it softens it.
Right. And so this one had the best presentation for me as well. It looked delicious.
Okay.
Oh, I added Parmesan cheese to this one as well. It was a nice little addition because you have to go in and choose your cheese.
Yeah.
It won't give you like a standard American cheese or whatnot.
But like in the Parmesan cheese, like in the seasoning section.
Yeah.
Sprinkled
and it's grated, which is kind of nice.
I made a huge mistake with my B.M.T protein bowl. So I got this, and then I added Parmesan, and then I added salt and pepper, and it was the saltiest thing I've ever eaten.
It would be.
This is jumping ahead a little bit, but I found when I started adding Parmesan to my salads, made them so much better.
Yeah, it's a good
and protein bowls, I started doing that too.
And so that perfect mix made this my favorite protein bowl.
Okay.
Joel?
Mine is actually, I completely agree with Zack. It's a sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Nice.
I like the taste of this sauce. Like you said, it didn't need dressing. Because like if you order the protein bowl, you don't really get a dressing, and they don't have very good options there. Like on the list we had on the menu options, they were like, oh, it's got golden Italian and all those other things. It's basically ranch,
vinaigrette,
or vinaigrette.
Yes,
I think they had the Caesar at some places too.
Okay,
so
yeah, but vinaigrette was usually my go-to.
Yeah, the sauce was already on the chicken, the onion teriyaki, and it sweetened the whole bowl. Had a nice flavor. They didn't cut up the tomatoes, which annoyed me, but I found the sweet onion chicken teriyaki to be very satisfying as protein bowl. But I would not get another protein bowl. I hope to never get one again because it's just a ripoff.
Yeah, it's a ripoff.
All right, well, we're so positive on them anyway, but let's just go down this path of worst protein bowl. Ken?
All right, so I chose the B.M.T as my favorite. I'm choosing the B.L.T as my least favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's just a big pile of bacon?
Yeah, so they did not chop this, and so it's just strips and strips and strips of bacon.
Yeah.
And guess what? They
Full
put
tomatoes.
a ton in there.
You don't like tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't like tomatoes.
So we're getting a BLT.
But guess what I did?
What?
Because I said, hey, if I'm going to get tomatoes during this challenge, it's going to be during the BLT.
Makes sense.
And so it was full tomato. I'm not full tomatoes.
But I think, no, they don't
full
chop them.
Slice.
Yeah, slices of tomatoes.
With lots of bacon, which, by the way, the bacon was horrible. I really can't recommend their bacon.
I don't mind it.
None of it was chopped. It was a really, really bad experience, even with the vinaigrette.
Okay.
So I hate it.
I feel like their bacon is like the pre-cooked bacon you get at Costco.
Oh, it totally is.
Which
Okay.
I'm fine with it. So maybe that's why I don't have the same aversion as Ken does.
Yeah.
But it's not nearly as good as like Wendy's bacon.
Ken has a lot of aversions.
I think McDonald's has better bacon than
McDonald's is
Subway.
horrible
No,
at bacon.
no.
Yeah, and I agree. It's horrible and better.
Joel?
I've been saving this for this. There we go.
Bowl.
It's the tuna. The tuna I did not like in any way, shape, or form. It's one of the few sandwiches and wraps and salads and protein bowls I did not finish.
Did we all save this till the end?
I don't know.
I did.
Oh no! It was in alphabetical order, so I was going down for a bit, and I was like, I don't want to end on tuna, so I jumped down to it. But so the tuna, if you like tuna, it's fine. But I've kind of grown out of favor with tuna in the last little bit. I used to love it as a kid.
It wasn't atrocious. I feel it tastes like tuna.
The wrap was the least offensive form I felt.
Okay,
but the protein bowl was the worst offensive form because they piled it on. I have a picture of my little 2-year-old daughter because no one else would eat it. They all tried it and didn't like it, so I gave it to her, and she's got like a fork in it, but it's like 4 scoops of tuna on top of this
how creamy
veggie thing. It was not good. It was just too much tuna. It was just
too much tuna.
Too much. I even, like, at one point I took a bite and it was like, okay, I got a pickle, an olive, a tomato, piece of spinach, and then a little bit of tuna, and I could stomach it that way. But there's no way I could plow through that much tuna.
So you couldn't finish this?
No, that was one that got a little more wasted up. But they didn't need to chop it on the protein bowl.
That's true.
It's tuna, but the veggies were all whole, and that was annoying.
I didn't mind it as a sandwich. But you are 100% right, Joel. The worst protein bowl is the tuna.
Did we just match on both protein bowls?
Oh, yes, we did. And it is... It's because of the proportions. They are so out of whack on this.
Whoa.
I don't want it at all, but I really don't want it with that much tuna.
Yeah.
Because I think it's definitely clearer because it's like just gross scoops.
No, it's not
like
clear.
A cafeteria.
The protein bowl is black.
It's true. It's dark.
I mean, you got to mix it in with the lettuce and spinach and everything, though.
Oh no!
You don't just eat chunks of tuna on the top.
You should be able to.
It's gross. And I unfortunately saved this for one of the last. I got smart once I realized I was nearing the end. I started going, "Oh, that's going to be probably going to be pretty good. I'm going to save that."
Yeah,
but I didn't do it with the tuna and one other thing that I know we're saving for later on this list.
I went good, bad with most of my meals.
Yeah,
yeah, expecting what would be bad.
Good, bad. Like I didn't have
mostly
that many bad
actually.
See, I had most of it was good. There's only a couple that I was fearing.
Yeah, like we're past the section, but I think the last thing I had was the steak and cheese protein bowl, and it was actually pretty good. So okay, so now we are moving from the protein bowl to the totally and completely different salad category.
This is like the early evolution of the protein bowl.
This is for the female listener, apparently, based on the marketing of the container.
Yeah.
But what's the best salad?
I chose the chicken bacon ranch melt because it's everything I want in a salad. Chunks of chicken, bits of bacon. It's chopped up.
Chunks of their chicken?
But it's chopped up. It's fine. It tastes good, and it's got the ranch on it already. I added a little Parmesan to my salad, and that always makes it really nice. I said, this is good, real good, possibly the best salad. And it's better than the protein bowl version, probably because I didn't have to chop
there's less of it.
But it's chicken, it's bacon, it's ranch. It's
but it's
good.
Not chicken or bacon or ranch. It's Subway's version of the 3.
I liked it.
Oh.
So this was my favorite salad. And it wasn't my wife's. My wife's liked the lighter tasting one. Like she always got the Subway vinaigrette. She liked the B.L.T. salad actually a lot. But the chicken bacon ranch is more hearty. I like that one.
Joel, we matched up on the last two, and we're kind of close on this one. I actually did a little bit of a cheat or a hack on mine. So my best salad is the oven roasted chicken.
Why?
Because it's literally the same chicken.
Please
just
don't
not
compare yourself to me in this regard.
It's like a slab of chicken, and that's it.
Mine was cut up. Mine was totally cut up.
What?
I'm sure they will, but it's still flavorless.
I never had one cut up.
It's the exact same chicken.
It doesn't taste like it. I don't know why.
But
it's the exact same.
But it's in oval form.
But you're not getting the ranch or the bacon.
No. Wow. I get it with ranch and barbecue sauce, and it's delicious.
I tried that.
It's completely tasteless.
I tried barbecue.
It is exactly the same chicken.
I tried
as
barbecue
else.
sauce and ranch on the protein bowl for the oven roasted chicken. Did not work.
Oh no, I'm telling you, I was like, this is lovely. I also did it with honey mustard on the protein bowl, and it was good as well. It is. You guys are fooled by the shape of it. It is the same chicken that's in everything else.
It is the processed chicken.
Yeah.
That is
in the sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Yeah, somehow.
But it's like a larger flavorless glob.
Yeah, there's no sauce on it or anything.
It hasn't been marinating.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had issues with my salad. Mine were almost too cut up. In fact, about half of my salads were really just coleslaw. They were so chopped up.
Yeah, they chop them. They put them in this big black bowl, like I think guacamole at Mexican restaurants. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And they bring out like these little blades and just kind of chop them up. And I'm like, that seems excessive.
All right, Kent, what's the best salad?
All right, spicy Italian.
You guys both like the spicy Italian?
I saved spicy Italian for the salad because it was just once again, the perfect combination. It wasn't too much like in a protein bowl. It was chopped up here, so it wasn't just thrown in slabs or whatnot. It has the right amount of salt there too.
What kind of cheese did you put in it?
Oh, on this one, on salads, I always did Parmesan cheese. Because
just Parmesan? You didn't add like a mozzarella
because
in there?
anytime I did mozzarella or like, what else do they have?
American Swiss.
They would just throw in the pieces of cheese, and then I'd have to like divvy it up with my fork.
I got to love Swiss and salads.
But I feel like spicy Italian is the unsung hero of Subway.
When they say spicy, they shouldn't say spicy Italian. They should call it salty Italian because it's not spicy at all.
So it just kind of swears sometimes, and it's got a bad attitude.
A little bit.
But this is very good with vinaigrette as well. So I love this. It was simple, tasty, and obviously I'd rather have the spicy Italian sandwich, but the salad, quite good.
All right.
And now we are over to the worst salad. I'll get us started off here. This is the one that felt the most pointless to me. It was the Veggie Delight salad.
Which is
just salad.
Which is salad.
It's just salad. I mean, it's nothing. It's okay, fine.
It was kind of pointless.
Other vegetables. I was like, really? I got so bored of it. I didn't finish it.
Is it overplayed for you, Zach, since you had it and everything else, but with meat instead?
Exactly. That's the thing. It's everything else, but it always feels like it's missing something.
Yeah.
Because it's everything you would get anyway without your slab of meat on top.
Which is that one? I think that's one's the same price as every other salad. And it's like, why would you pay for that?
I think it's for the weight.
No. Yeah, I guess.
You know, even though the lettuce is not
seems like
good.
a ripoff.
Right.
Paying the same price for
now
that.
they throw in a lot, and this is another one of mine that turned into coleslaw because they just overly chopped it. But I was like, why am I eating this? So pointless.
All right, we're salad, and I've talked enough about the chicken and creamy mixtures here at Subway, but the chicken Caesar.
What?
Here are my notes. The Caesar is warm and not agreeing with me. I can't get 3 bites in. The recipe for the Caesar dressing is ranch mixed with mayonnaise. And then I said it last. I feel attacked. I tried because I think I ate a sandwich before this, and I'm like, oh, that was really good. And then I'm like, okay, let me get into
Caesar
this.
salad.
It's not. It's the Caesar is not real. We've all had real Caesar dressing. This is mayonnaise. It's warm mayonnaise.
No, it's Caesar.
Not Caesar dressing.
It's close enough to Caesar.
It is. No, it's not even like Kirkland Caesar. It's Subway Caesar. I hated the chicken Caesar. I hate the chicken bacon ranch. I actually feel like there's not much variation between those white sauces or mayonnaise whatsoever. Oh, wow.
I like mayonnaise enough for the both of us, Kent.
Oh, you keep it over there.
Yep.
See, you guys must be saving this for a later one because I chose the meatball marinara salad.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So every time I would order a protein bowl, my wife would get the salad version.
Yeah,
this was the only time I went nope, I'm not getting a meatball salad. So then I got the protein bowl version and I got the salad for my son because it was like, yeah, meatball salad, sure. So this is what they do. They take a salad. They take a bunch of meatballs and marinara sauce and just dump it on top. And then they don't chop it. They mush it all together. And it's cold. And the cold really exposes how mushy these meatballs are. These meatballs need toasty bread to make them have their full potential.
And extra sauce.
There's so much marinara.
You did the marinara on the salad.
It comes with it.
You did extra marinara as well?
No, I didn't do extra marinara.
Okay.
I think I may have put ranch on this one.
Oh, no, I didn't. They store the meatballs.
I
did extra marinara for the experience.
Oh, yeah?
And it was horrifying.
So I said it could use ranch. I didn't put it on this one. But yeah, it's cold. And my son ended up the first bite, he's like, oh, this is good. And he started getting through it. And then he's like, I don't want to finish that. I'm like, you don't have to. And then I tried it, and I was like, it's cold. It's gross.
Did you care for the protein bowl one where they actually have the full meatballs?
The protein bowl was the whole meatballs. So I just kind of ate those and then had like a salad after. So it was like I had a spaghetti and meatballs and salad on the same plate.
Yeah.
And then this was like eating the salad after I'd eaten the meatballs.
What kind of sociopath orders a meatball salad, though?
No, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When you're eating spaghetti and you like have your spaghetti on your plate and then you have like a salad with ranch dressing on the side and they touch a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
I don't want that all the time though. I don't want that as the whole meal.
Keep it kosher.
And that's just it. Is like the first bite I was like, oh, not bad. But then I got into it, I'm like, it just gets mushy. The whole thing gets mushy. It's gross.
My meatball marinara salad was actually like they clearly had made it, chopped it up, borderline coleslaw again. And then they threw on, I think it was 4 of the meatballs whole on top of the salad. And it was just the worst. Like eating them cold.
Well, they didn't even mush them up
experience.
for you?
No.
I'd rather not have pre-mushed meatballs.
They're pretty gross. It's like pre-chewed, basically.
They might have been.
I took a couple bites and was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat this. And then I just doused it in ranch dressing from the fridge, and it was a little bit more passable. And I probably only got a quarter of the way in and threw it away.
Joel, maybe that lady who took your order, she pre-chewed your meatballs, and then they gave you that bundle back. Yeah,
sir, we need you to come to the window. Someone has chewed the meatballs in your salad.
You're welcome.
All right, we are headed now over to breakfast. I don't know if a lot of people know that Subway does breakfast, but what is the best breakfast item?
Subway does breakfast.
Day long.
All day breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, okay, they say all day breakfast, but I'll tell you what, the two right by me didn't serve breakfast, so I had to go to the other two nearby because they were like, they weren't open. Like I was like, 8 a.m. trying to order breakfast, and they're like, we're not open yet, and I'm like, what? So I had to wait till 10 if I wanted to eat at those breakfast there.
Yeah. Okay. Breakfast from a lunch place.
I would like to know where you guys stand on the wraps versus the flatbreads, because this may be the great divide. Once again, I've said I already kind of don't mind the wraps because I had good experiences with them.
One of the worst experiences I had was a wrap.
I imagine. But I'm going to give the edge to the Black Forest ham, egg, and cheese signature wrap on this one. And you can get many variations of breakfast. I think there's 7 or 8 combinations in total. And they're all different variations of egg and wrap, or egg and flatbread. Yeah. Well, you add bacon or add ham.
Because those are 2 options. You can either get a wrap form or flatbread form.
So ham, egg, cheese, wrap. This is the best of a tier 3 breakfast option because their breakfast is tier 3 all the way. This is, usually we'll say, what's better, their normal menu or their breakfast menu with the fast food menus we have?
There's no question here.
There's no question. And so, and I do believe the wrap has slightly more taste than flatbread.
But the flatbread was, you mean the wrap. The flatbread was hit and miss for me. Like sometimes it was fine. Sometimes it was cardboard chewy. It was chewy cardboard. Stale.
And so that was my favorite. Joel, what was yours?
Well, you and I are not going to agree on anything except for this category because I chose the Black Forest ham, egg and cheese signature wrap. I don't know what, this felt more hearty than the other breakfast items I had. It was moist, which I was very happy about because most of the wraps were very, very dry. But they need to do better with their breakfast sauces.
Totally.
Like they don't have...
What do you usually get with the breakfast items?
Well, I mean like a ketchup or a salsa or something like that.
A chipotle? Is it like a little bit? It's kind of nice.
Yeah, something like that. But they don't. You have the same sauces you have all day and none of them are that great. Their eggs are kind of watery, and the spinach wrap is definitely odd for breakfast.
It is.
It's got a very distinct aftertaste in the morning. Also, one thing, I couldn't think of toppings to put on these. For the longest time, I'm like, what do you put on a breakfast sandwich?
Oh, I didn't.
I figured out spinach, tomatoes, and Parmesan cheese was the great combination to put on a breakfast
I did pepper jack.
That'd be good, too. But yeah, the Black Forest ham really did add to this, and I did end up giving the edge to this one because it was one of the few pleasant breakfast experiences I had at Subway.
I don't know why, and I knew this was happening. I knew we were going to get to this point. I like their breakfast.
What? You're off the show.
I lied. I know. I like it.
How many times did the mule kick you in the head?
I don't know, man. I didn't have
right in the tongue too.
I didn't have. It's not amazing, but I was like, oh no, this is fun. I don't know.
It's what's fun about it?
No, almost every other breakfast menu quest we've done where it's like the breakfast items, I'm like, oh, this is good. In fact, I remember very distinctly one time going to Subway and getting a breakfast, and as I'm pulling out, I could see a McDonald's and a Wendy's, and I went, I wish I was there.
Yeah, I add I'll do mayo and olives and green peppers.
Green peppers would work for breakfast, sure.
Yeah, they're good for breakfast. I think what would I put in an
sriracha?
omelet?
They have a creamy sriracha there. I could never find it in the app.
Neither.
Yeah, but I picked the steak, egg, and cheese sandwich. I actually preferred the flatbread.
See, and that was a hearty sandwich. That was a kickstart to my morning.
Yeah, I really liked this. And this one was interesting, too, because I tried to order this in store. And it's funny because the girl was like, yeah, I guess we can do that. Like, it wasn't a normal thing. And then she basically was like warning me. She's like, do you want to know how much it will cost? Like, it was going to be just crazy expensive. I mean, and it's one of the more expensive items.
It is one of the more expensive items, isn't it?
But if you order on the app, it's not that big a deal. But she made it seem like, yeah, I guess we can do that. But it's going to be a lot of money. And I was like, fine, I'll order it on the app.
I think she was judging you.
She was.
That you didn't have enough.
Well, by the way, few interactions with this girl.
I forgot to mention, the most expensive menu item, according to our research that we did, was the turkey, bacon, and guacamole protein bowl, which, if you recall, is the one where they forgot the guacamole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
As you were,
you
Zach.
okay?
A little bitter.
But I think the steak, egg, and cheese sandwich is good. I would get it again.
If I were forced to get a breakfast from Subway, that might be one of the ones I choose.
If you're forced. What situation are you forced to get breakfast from Subway?
Baconsale?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You must.
All right, Joel, what is the worst breakfast?
The worst breakfast, at least it was a hands down for me, it's the egg and cheese wrap. Because you're paying the exact same amount for this wrap than you are than the other wraps, but you're not getting the ham or the steak or anything like that. It's the same price. I ordered this from the gas station Subway because that was the only one that was open during breakfast hours. It was a dry tortilla. I had to gag it down. I tried to add sriracha, but I couldn't. And it wasn't this one, but it was the same place. That's when I accidentally ordered Caesar, and I'm like, there's something good about this. And it was because it was something different. I don't like the aftertaste of the spinach tortillas. I don't like how dry it is. Egg and cheese wrap was a disappointment. Eggs aren't good.
No, they're horrible.
Yeah. Zach?
Joel, the worst breakfast is the egg and cheese wrap.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it. It was dull and boring. Mine was in the tomato basil.
They're the same. They're the same.
And something was funky about it. But I unfortunately ordered the bacon, egg, and cheese wrap at one point, and they didn't put bacon on it. So I accidentally had to eat this twice. Yeah.
Oh, no bacon. It's almost as bad as not getting guacamole.
Right. Okay, Kent?
Oh, we were so close, guys, but I went with the egg and cheese flatbread. And this is one of those experiences where I said, you know what? No toppings on this one. I want to see if there's natural flavor to this flatbread or the eggs, and there's not. So like you're talking about, there's cardboard for the flatbread.
Yeah.
Reps, mixed bag, but I never liked the flatbread, not once. And
If it's like toasted too much, it is a saltine cracker.
And I think that's kind of what it was. Both were tasteless. I'm not sure there was any salt in either product. And so if this is so boring, this is something if people are like, they complain about food, this is something they'd order all the time because there's no taste here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. We kind of
healthy,
agree
though.
there. No, it's
generally
not.
speaking, you if someone doesn't have taste, at least it's healthy. This is not.
Nope.
Okay, we have made it through all of the main items. Now we're going to get to the sort of some side items. We're going to talk cookies here for a second, and we'll go with the best cookie. I'll start us off. I think the best cookie, which is weird because I hate cheesecake, it's the raspberry cheesecake cookie.
Raspberry cheesecake.
Did you choose that too?
I agree with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you not choose that one?
I didn't.
I thought we were going to go with the triple here.
Nope.
No, really? What do you have, Kent?
So I turned 40 recently.
Yeah.
And that means now I like white chocolate.
And macadamia.
Because I chose the white chocolate macadamia.
There's white chocolate in the raspberry cheesecake.
Yeah, there is. But there's a proper amount of chip placement on there too, and then nice little crunch. It tasted like a homemade cookie to me.
I'm not complaining against
Where
the
I
white
love
chocolate.
the raspberry cheesecake.
Yeah.
Loved it. In fact, I gave it like a B+. This one got an A- for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, I think, I don't even like cheesecake, but for some reason, there's just something about that raspberry cheesecake cookie. But also, I can tell when like maybe those are fairly like recently cooked or baked, because if I'll get like a chocolate chip, it'll kind of taste like a raspberry. And I'm like, it's delicious.
Yeah. This is one of the few ones that my wife said, can you give me one of those again? And I'm like, I already checked it off. She's like, can you get it again? Sure.
Because you get two if you get a combo meal.
Yeah. Or if you can actually get it off her to work.
Right, exactly.
All right. So Joe and I agreed there as well.
Yes, you did.
Let's go with the worst cookie. What do you have, Kent?
This is not going to be tough because there's bias working here, but it is the oatmeal raisin.
I found that one surprisingly inoffensive.
The oatmeal is nice. In fact, I think I got a fresh
cinnamon
one.
flavor to it.
It's good and soft, but raisins in cookies taint the entire thing. It's poison throughout a cookie, so no thank you.
I disagree.
Okay.
I actually didn't hate any of the cookies, but because of the expectations versus reality, I chose the caramel brownie cookie.
Yeah. This is one
Did you find that one?
This one I found last night.
Okay.
I looked everywhere for it because it sounds delicious.
It should have been great.
In fact, I thought it was a brownie.
Yeah, and I had to say, no, it's just a cookie. Tamper your expectations. But it's just mediocre. It has like a caramel topping on the top, so when they put it in the bag, it just kind of sticks to the top of the bag.
Yeah.
And it's very messy to eat. And it had kind of a coffee taste to it almost, which I was like, So I wasn't a big fan, but it was still good. I don't want to hate on any of these cookies because they were all fine, but yeah.
So you ate raisins.
I did. They were fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay with oatmeal raisin if done right. And this one was had a cinnamon taste that I liked.
Okay.
Zach?
My worst cookie officially is not on the list. So I'm just going to give a little dishonorable mention to the new s'mores cookie.
Yep, I got that last night too.
It's not good. It's like gritty and just gross.
Mine got a swirl of chocolate on it.
Mine, they only had the swirl, like the fun stuff in the middle, and the rest was just like the plain cookie without any toppings.
I got about halfway through the cookie and was like, this is not good.
It's getting hungry.
As far as our official list goes, though, Kent, you are right. The oatmeal raisin cookie is just not good.
Mm-hmm.
It is good.
And the history of cookies,
it's fine.
It's bad.
No,
it's fine.
It's the worst cookie of all time. Oatmeal chocolate chip, delicious. Oatmeal raisin, horrible. All right, let's go. Now, this is a fun category. This is an item that sounds the worst, but actually tastes the best.
I chose the veggie patty for this one.
Veggie patty sandwich or
the veggie patty
just in general?
I just went veggie patty on this one.
So this is low expectations and kind of delivered.
Well, because you remember the son of the morning burger at Burger King.
Son of the morning, it's the Morning Star.
That's the one.
The Lucifer Morning Star veggie burger.
It was so salty and terrible. We all hated it. I was like, oh, I don't want a veggie patty. Oh, I don't want a veggie patty. And then I got it, and I was like, that's not bad.
Did you hope for more texture from it, though?
Well, it has a strange texture, but it's almost
too soft for me.
It's like a softly cooked hamburger. If that sounds gross.
It sounds gross.
A little more rare, but it's a hamburger, but it's fully cooked because it's a veggie patty. But my oldest son, he kept eating it, and he's like, and I said, "Do you know what that is?" He's like, "Is that a hamburger wrap?" And I'm like, "No."
Oh.
And so then I eat it. He kept coming back for more bites, but I kept eating it. The patties are warmed up, which I didn't expect.
They are.
I was pleasantly surprised with the veggie patty.
If I was a vegetarian, I'd get this over Veggie Delight any day.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So that's my pick for sounds worse, but tastes best.
My pick is also the veggie patty.
Yeah, Zach.
I was really surprised by this one. Now, this is one of the times that I went into the store and I said, "Hey, what is your favorite sandwich?" To the sandwich artist, I said, "Just make me whatever your favorite sandwich is."
The correct term. Of sandwich artist.
Yes, of course, I have to. And she said, honestly, I when I eat sandwiches, I go with the veggie patty. I'm like, okay, I need to eat that. Go for it. And then she added both buffalo and chipotle sauce, I believe. She added 2 of the hot sauces. And I said, okay, I'm not a huge fan of the buffalo, so just a little bit of that. But she added 2 different hot sauces, and it really jazzed it up. And it was one of the most delicious sandwiches I had in this entire challenge.
Really?
So that's where I will say, ask your sandwich artist what is their favorite. You run it through, obviously, what you like. Taste? But they may. But honestly, it was one of the best sandwiches I had, and I was so surprised. But then when I had it again, I had it again as a wrap, it was fine. It was not as good,
right?
And I think those sauces really helped. But
did you have difficulty finding this one, Zach? Because I couldn't find it on the app. I had to go into the store, and Kent had to go to Mexico to get his.
Basically,
yeah.
No, both my 2 main Subways had it. No issues.
You're in the Salt Lake Valley.
Yep,
gentlemen, we have our first 3-way tie.
Yeah,
the veggie patty. And I almost have to put this on here because I wasn't blown away. In fact, I almost wanted a little bit more coarseness to the outside of the veggie patty.
Okay.
The inside was nice and soft or whatever, but I fought so hard to find this one. I took Joel's advice and I started calling Subways. And these people, I'm like, hey, this is weird. Because I was going in, hey, do you guys have the veggie patty? What?
You know, I always imagined their look on their face when their phone rang.
Yes.
Who's calling?
Yeah, and I'm like, and because I'd ask, do you have the veggie patty? And I finally found a store. And then she's like, so would you like it? And I was like, nope, I'll be there soon. Yeah. And I drove 20 minutes to go to this Subway. And I got a few variations. I got, like the sandwich, I got the wrap and whatnot. And it worked best in the sandwich for me because then you have the crunch with the bread and some of the toppings. And I wish I would have got the sauces you got, Zach, because I got like mustard and oil and vinegar and stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked because it went, kind of marinated it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds worse, but tastes the best.
I definitely would recommend if you want to try the veggie patty, if you're interested, try it with one of the spicier sauces. I think that was like
finding
a home run.
it.
Yeah, if you can find it.
Yes, that's true.
It's actually worth it.
Now we'll flip over to the opposite and say this sounds best, but tastes the worst. I'll get us started on this one. This is one that, as I mentioned earlier, I had some anticipation because I ordered it and I didn't get it correctly the first time, so I had to order it again. But I was very disappointed when I got it. This is the bacon, egg, and cheese wrap. I thought, why? That sounds pretty good. Mm-hmm. And
this is
I
where you
ate
get the bacon, though?
So this is after I ordered it a second time and got the bacon. And I was like, okay, this should be good. There's no reason why this should be bad. And I don't know maybe it was the fact that the eggs are mediocre and the bacon's mediocre and I don't like their wraps. And I didn't do enough to jazz it up. But I was like, this is not worth the trouble. and I did not like it at all.
Sounds the best, but tastes the worst? Huge shocker. In fact, I was stoked because I've never had these items from Subway anymore. I always have my favorites. Buffalo chicken salad. Buffalo chicken protein bowl. Buffalo chicken anything.
The sandwich?
The sandwich was the best variation for me, but still really disappointment. In fact, my notes say, there's so much dressing and buffalo sauce combined.
Yep.
It's hard to taste anything. The chicken tastes like nothing. It just tastes like
nothing.
Yeah, but it's like swarmed by everything else. It's just something a little bit chewy in there. The cucumbers I got were really bitter. I don't know what was wrong with them, if they were old. I couldn't even finish this. And this was true for all of the buffalo chicken.
Even the sandwich.
Sandwich, like I said, I could finish it. I didn't really enjoy it. So
there we go.
Crap.
I feel justified making this worst sandwich now.
I almost wish it was just less buffalo sauce and no ranch, because usually if you pair ranch with something like chipotle sauce, it will go okay.
Yeah.
This was horrible.
Dang it. Does I got to order a tuna sandwich now?
Yes.
Dang it.
Yes.
My sounds best, but tastes worst is oven roasted chicken. When I had oven roasted chicken in my head, I'm thinking of like a chicken on a rotisserie, rotating it around, golden brown, delicious. And then I got the protein bowl, and there were 2 slabs of bland chicken on top. And then I got the sandwich, and my notes say the pressed chicken patty was cold and barely made a difference. And then I got the salad, and I said, it's not that good, kind of watery and bland. The oven roasted chicken just makes things worse. And then I got the wrap, and I say, it's like a tofu block. Whatever seasoning or sauce you put on it, that's what it becomes. Mm-hmm. It's just a nothing. And every time I had to order the oven roasted chicken, I'm like, what can I put on this to make it at all better? Maybe I should have added some buffalo sauce and ranch.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm shocked at that, Ken.
I'm sorry.
You love
sorry.
buffalo chicken.
Love it.
Yeah.
But not with Subway sauce. Subway anything is bad.
No, Subway is not bad.
All right. What about a guilty pleasure? I don't know. I think this is a hard category. But what do you think, Ken?
This is not tough at all, because you should feel guilty when going to Subway and ordering this. But it's still amazing. It's the meatball marinara sub. Meatball is...
No guilt in that.
The sub is perfect. I get the Italian herbs and cheese, pepper jack cheese on there. Can I get some oregano and Parmesan there?
Ooh.
Like, I don't get any veggies, because that would kind of mess with it.
No.
Sometimes
I get veggies.
Sometimes you can add a little ranch in there, just a tiny bit.
A swirl of ranch.
And it works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm 12 years old getting the most basic sandwich if I get this. So I do feel guilty.
Yeah.
But it's always consistent. Granted, I don't want it pre-chewed or pre-mushed.
Right. Yeah,
but in a sub form, it's amazing. And well worth the $5 for the footlong.
Okay.
And now, this is a fun one. There's several years ago, they were running some promotion at the Subway right by my old job. And during the month of December, you could either get a 6-inch meatball marinara or a 6-inch cold cut combo for $2.
Oh, wow.
So I got so many meatball marinaras.
Oh, of course you did.
So yeah, I basically ate it like 3 out of the 5 days I was there.
Both of those sandwiches taste like nostalgia.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's not my answer. But
Okay.
What about you, Joel?
Well, you just mentioned mine. It's the cold cut combo.
No, really?
Okay,
It's got bologna in it.
It's bologna. It's ham, salami, and bologna. And then I
get that it's a guilty pleasure because I am 100% judging
when
you.
I get this one, I get mayonnaise, mustard, oil, and vinegar on it. Along
You
with
have to
some
get oil and
toppings.
vinegar. Yeah.
Oil and vinegar, mayonnaise, mustard, and it is. You know that scene in Ratatouille when he takes a bite and it goes in his eye, and all of a sudden he's at home and his mom is making a meal for him. This, when I ate it, I was like, I wrote, this tastes like childhood.
Have you seen my childhood?
And so, like, I had this total flashback, and then I was like, that's the combination. That is the secret combination of my childhood, was to put on my sandwich was mayonnaise, mustard, oil, and vinegar, and then whatever other veggies I wanted on there. But it really, I was like, I like this. This flavor reminds me of my childhood. So
I don't think Pixar's ever going to make that movie about your childhood.
Probably not. So yeah, cold cut combo is my guilty
No, I get
pleasure.
it. I get it. You should feel guilty. And guess what? It's not bad. It's like a straight across the board good sandwich.
It is, but it's lowest quality.
Right, yes.
Like it's right there with the meatball marinara, but it's one of the cheap ones, and it's probably why I ate it when it's a kid.
Well, I actually didn't go with the sandwich on this one, but this is one of my favorite items at Subway, and I've gotten them many, many times. In fact, I'll get 2 of them a lot, and that is the chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, is that a guilty pleasure?
They're not good.
They're good.
I love them. Like, I eat a lot of them. And I always think, this is, as far as a chocolate chip cookie goes, this isn't very good. I shouldn't like this as much as I do. But I seriously have ordered, like, at this same place where I ordered the $2 subs, I would get chocolate chip cookies all the time. And I get 2 every single time. And that was back when the cookies were bigger.
Yeah, they did shrink, didn't they?
The cookies are much smaller nowadays.
I like that you could go anywhere else now and get giant, delicious cookies, but you're still going to go to Subway and get 2 chocolate chip cookies.
When I don't seek them out, but when I'm there, I will almost always get a chocolate chip cookie.
Those fantastic cookies. Jimmy John's.
They're pretty good.
As much as I don't like their sandwiches.
We're never doing that
fine.
challenge, by the way.
No.
We're never.
No.
Please never. Please no. All right, now let's go on to our biggest surprise. I think this goes to you first, Joel. What's your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise was the turkey Italiano. Because like I said, I was kind of burned by the salty meats of the spicy Italian, where I was like, I feel like I'm getting heartburn with every bite. Mm-hmm. But this one is pepperoni, salami, and turkey breast, which I went, that's a weird combination.
So this is a B.M.T, but instead of ham, you get turkey.
Yeah. And then I put a vinaigrette on it because I was like, I don't want to do a ranch. I want to try something different. And the notes say, well, this is a pleasant surprise. Like I literally wrote, this is a pleasant surprise. And I said, the vinaigrette goes very nicely with the salted meats. I wouldn't have thought to order this one ever before because turkey Italiano just sounded like, I don't know, like the...
You don't know what you're
Remember
getting.
the meats with like the little pimentos in it?
Yes.
That's what it sounded like to me. But I'd order this one again. I was pleasantly surprised when I got this one. So turkey Italiano.
You can't order it again.
What do you mean I can't order it
in
again?
mine. I couldn't order this.
I'll find it on my app right now.
I went into my Subway and I couldn't order it on the app. So this is one of the items that I had to save for last because I couldn't order it on the app. And I went in and asked about the turkey Italiano, and she's like, well, I mean, we don't carry it anymore, but I can make it for you, but I'm just going to charge you for a B.M.T.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I really liked this sandwich. It was actually very good. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
But I don't know that you can order it anymore. You
think
might
I
have
should
to
be
just
able to.
specifically ask.
I'll
and
check
then
my
get
phone after
turkey.
the show.
Yeah, for sure. But my biggest surprise, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I didn't pick a sandwich or like an item per se. My biggest surprise was pickles. I have never had pickles on a... Yeah. I had never had pickles on a sandwich before. And I had them on the tuna sandwich at first.
Because you should have pickles.
I was like, whoa, this tuna is not very good, but these pickles are these kind of awesome? And I will always put pickles on my sandwich. I think they're very good.
Always.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
I actually hated tomatoes for the longest time, and then I worked at Quiznos and accidentally had them on one of my sandwiches, and I was like, that's actually pretty good. So there you go.
I still can't do that. I don't like tomatoes.
Yeah, I never put pickles on my sandwich until this challenge, and I was like, no, this is really good. I don't know why. I like pickles just fine. I just had never done them at a Subway. And I think it's because they look kind of gross.
Yeah,
but,
they do.
And they're like really thick. But I was kind of blown away at how much I liked them.
Okay.
Every time I had pickles on if I had them on a turkey sandwich, which is really boring, jazzed it right up. So there you go.
So I went with the topping as well, and it was a bad surprise. And I talked about this kind of ad nauseum. Subway bacon. Honestly, I put horrible 87% of the time. It's almost like it's boiled.
I feel like your percentages aren't consistent, Kent.
They are about like 32.3% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, so this feels like it was, like I said, just cooked in water. It was shaped in a factory and shipped to a Subway. Like they didn't fry these up, or no fryer at Subway. How did they cook these? There
is no fryer.
Exactly. Thank you. I learned something today. But I really dislike their bacon. In fact, I will avoid bacon on any sandwich or salad I get from there from now on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not good.
I think it's fine.
Okay, now we move into the why does this exist category. Why is this a thing? And I will get us started off, and I think Kent and I probably have the same answer here. For me, it's anything meatball marinara that's not a sandwich.
Oh, I disagree.
What, you disagree?
I mean, no,
wrap?
I don't love it on anything else, but it is not the thing that I believe shouldn't exist.
Well, okay, that's fine.
I like
we can all agree.
in marinara form, or in wrap form.
Do you like the wrap?
It's
Really?
fine. I prefer the sandwich, but the wrap.
The sandwich is good. It's good. It's a good simple staple.
It needs
but the
the
wrap
bread.
was weird, and the salad and protein bowl were terrible. Why on earth would you do anything but the meatball marinara sub? That I
It's
don't know
wrong.
whose idea was.
It's almost like they're going
idea.
for consistency across the board. Like, make anything a salad. There are some things that should not be created that way.
But you guys know that the fact that we ordered these was like the first time ever, and they're like, "What's going on over in Utah?"
Someone
people are
actually ordered
liking that
these?
meatball marinara.
Chew these. We need to put them in a Joel salad.
No, I would definitely go get a meatball marinara sub. Those are good.
Yeah.
But, I never want to have a salad again.
You didn't pick that, Kent?
No, I chose the eggs.
Yeah.
To me, the eggs, It's almost like you could, this is going to sound weird. They're so solid, like they're not good. It's almost like they're like quilt pieces that you could sew together and make a blanket of eggs and stay warm.
I love a blanket of eggs.
No, because you love eggs so much. I imagine you laying there.
Sleep on a ketchup pillow. Just dip it in next to my head.
Move on. I hated their eggs. Worst eggs of any menu item, any fast food menu we've done so far.
Mine was a menu item. I chose, why does the pizza sub salad exist?
Yeah. Similar to the meatball marinara.
Similar to the meatball one, but I was like, pizza's good. Salad's good. But they dump a bucket of marinara on this thing, and they just throw in pepperoni and some mozzarella. I watched them scoop the marinara on, and I was like, this is going to be bad. I did say it's better than the meatball salad, but I still was like, does not. Because a pizza sub sandwich is even one of those hit and miss. You can't get them everywhere.
Right.
So why make this a salad? It was mushy. It was unappealing. Anytime they put marinara on a salad, you're probably having a bad day.
Pepperonis are okay in a salad, but not with the marinara.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in order to do this, I had to get the spicy Italian salad and have them take out the salami.
Yep.
That's the funniest thing about this. Like, it's not like we were making stuff up. This is stuff that's on the app at some places, and you go to other places, and they're like, what is this? Okay, let's Frankenstein this together.
We have ham?
Yeah.
All right, now we get to the go-to order. What is your go-to order when you go to Subway? Although you may never eat it again, this is what you would get.
So I took this as something I've always got and something I will keep getting from now on.
Yes.
And generally, I will choose from another fast food place something from the dollar menu because, hey, I don't want to spend a lot, but I know I'm going to get consistent quality. So I went with my favorite sandwich. It's the sweet onion chicken teriyaki again. And so how I get this prepared is Italian herbs and cheese. Yeah, I'd like that toasted. Foot long, please. I'll get the pepper jack cheese. By the way, that was Italian herbs and cheese bread, by the way.
Right, yeah.
With pepper jack cheese. Then I get spinach, lettuce, cucumbers, and and some jalapenos, just for that nice little kick as well.
Yeah.
They put in the extra sweet onion sauce because you actually have to ask for it because they may not always put it on. And that's what it becomes. Sometimes banana peppers too, but sometimes banana peppers and jalapenos kind of have a little battle on sandwiches, and they can kind of distort the taste. But that's my go-to order. Quality every time.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
My go-to order is the meatball marinara sandwich.
Is it?
If I go there, because it's a cheap one, I really do enjoy it. I mean, it's not high quality. Like, I'm not saying this is like great deli sandwich, but
you're going to be fed for $5.
It's a good stuff, or even less sometimes. But I say I'd like a meatball marinara sandwich. I usually get olives, pickles, tomatoes, spinach, banana peppers, and a swirl of ranch, and usually pepper jack cheese or mozzarella or something melty. This is cheap, it's tasty, and it's an easy vote for me. I don't like it in any other form really, except for sandwich. That's the best. Wrap was okay, but it's definitely the meatball marinara sandwich is my go-to order.
So good.
And my go-to is definitely always has been, and it will remain after this challenge, the Italian B.M.T.
Oh, so you've always got the B.M.T.?
Yes.
The best
I've
selling
got it
sandwich?
for years. I think it is delicious. And what I wanted to do with this challenge is save my go-to order for last. Well, they accidentally messed it up and ruined my groove like halfway through. I ordered the BLT and they gave me a B.M.T. and I was like eating it going,
this is so good.
And I had built my BLT almost exactly as my normal order. So I will alternate the sauces. You're going to hate this, Kent. I will do either mayo, ranch. If I'm feeling really just hating my body, I'll do mayo and ranch.
Whoa.
Or mayo and mustard.
Yeah.
I'll put this on the Italian herb and cheese bread. I do not like toasted, or I'll do the wheat bread. I'll do the spinach. I will do tomato, cucumber, the olives usually, and then a salt and pepper or the oregano or, Parmesan, whatever I'm kind of feeling that day. But for sure, my go-to sandwich is the Italian B.M.T.
Yeah, I do like
all right.
toasted.
Now, we've probably already gone through this, but this might be a chance for some shout out. We're just going to let's rip through our bottom 5 sandwich or bottom 5 menu items and our top 5 menu items. We'll start with the bottom, of course.
Yeah. So my bottom 5, number 5 was the pizza sub salad.
Right.
Number 4 was the meatball salad. I talked about these. Number 3 is oven roasted chicken in any form. Number 2 is veggie delight in almost any form.
Wait, your second least favorite thing is just salad.
It's salad in bread, and even the salad without,
because you're paying about the same cost.
Yeah,
right.
It just kind of seemed like a ripoff, and they don't have it in protein bowl. They don't have the protein bowl version of this. Thank goodness. And then my number one is tuna in any form. I just
You
did not
hated
enjoy
it.
tuna. So yeah, tuna was not. I thought maybe I'll like tuna again. Not this tuna. Not a fan.
That's wise. My list is similar, but you're gonna hate me for this first one. My fifth from the bottom is actually the cold cut combo, just because I feel like I shouldn't be eating
Hate
bologna.
my childhood.
I do. Then for me, it's the buffalo chicken ranch.
What?
Just
Anything?
Nah.
Yeah.
Anything. Then of course the veggie delight as well. I agree with you there. Then for me, it was the next one is tuna anything.
That's your
Just
number 2?
Avoid
I like how
that.
it's
That's my number
anything.
2.
Your number tuna?
Tuna. And then my number one worst is the meatball salad or protein bowl.
That was bad.
It's just horrible.
That was real
I
bad.
honestly would have the tuna over that.
Understood.
It's just
Yeah.
gross.
I didn't finish either one, but
Yeah.
All right, my number 5 is the egg and cheese flatbread by itself. Really bad
I didn't
experience.
put any breakfasts on mine.
You should have. Number 4 is roast chicken anything, just the
oven roasted chicken?
the 2D football sized chicken. Number 3 is chicken bacon ranch anything. Number 2,
That's disgusting.
chicken Caesar bowl. Hated it.
You just hate white sauces.
And number 1 was the turkey bacon guac wrap because that
That's
was the
your
one.
number one worst favorite.
It tasted like farm. Joel.
Why do you do this on every single food
It's
challenge?
not like I knew you'd love it. In fact, if I was tasting it and it said, if I thought Joel would like this, that would be an insult to who you are because it was such a bad
I
experience.
think you need to give
for
that one
me.
another shot.
Oh, but what if it's the same?
It won't.
I gave it a
go
straight
to a different
F.
one. Go to
Okay.
a different Subway.
But that was my number 1 least favorite.
All right, now let's move over to our positive side. We've really already talked about this,
did.
most of these, but we'll give our top 5 sandwiches. I'll go ahead and start it off. This is going to be the controversial take as steak, egg, and cheese sandwich is my number 5.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I really liked it. Then my 4 is chicken bacon ranch sandwich.
Yeah.
And then the sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
Yeah.
Again, this was new for me in the challenge and one that I will continue to have moving forward. Top 2, I rated it as the best sandwich. That's the spicy Italian. And then, of course, my go-to, my Italian B.M.T. That is my number 1 sandwich.
That's your babe.
Oh, yeah. It will always
Babe.
be. I love it.
So my number 5 is the meatball and marinara sub. Number 4, spicy Italian. Number 3 is B.M.T. So good. Number 2, Chipotle steak and guac wrap was amazing.
See, and I like that one, but I feel like the jalapenos kind of overpowered the flavor that they put on there.
I get that, but for some reason it worked for me. And number 1, it's my go-to. It's a sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to give honorable mention in my top 5 to the buffalo chicken sandwich because I got a lot of hate this time, but it warmed my heart on that cold day, and I will always be grateful for that. It was very, very messy,
was very
very
lonely.
tasty. My number 5 is
Gross.
actually the Subway melt sandwich.
It's a good one.
That's got ham, turkey, bacon, cheese. It's not as good in wrap or protein bowl form. That's the sandwich. Get the sandwich. My number 4 is the cold cut combo sandwich because of childhood. I already mentioned that. Number 3 is chicken bacon ranch melt. I was going to say I do like a sweet onion teriyaki. That's probably in my top 10. But the chicken bacon ranch definitely made it there. Number 2 is my go-to order, the meatball sandwich. But when I'm feeling special, I get that steak and cheese with that swirl of chipotle sauce.
That's
and steak
number
and
1?
cheese is my number 1.
All right.
So there you go. That is our supersized Subway show.
That's a big show. That's a big show.
A 11-inch size show.
Yeah, not quite foot long. Right.
I mean,
We can't say foot
It's
long.
also fitting because this was the most expensive show of the
oh
year.
my gosh, the most items too. But
The show cost us like $1,800.
I'm so glad.
But we
it's
want to
over.
hear your thoughts. Yes, I'm so glad this quest is over, and we want to hear your thoughts about Subway. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What are your favorite sandwiches? What are your least favorite sandwiches? Have you tried protein bowls? Do you know they do breakfast? Let us know on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We want to hear your feedback, and if if it's clever enough, we may even read it on the show.
All right. Before we go, we'd like to thank the patrons. So from the I Am the Listener category, it's Lady Terry A. Finley, Chris Strout, Sean Sandquist, Just Plain Old Kyler, Jennifer Kilkowski, Braden Winterton, Babs, Alicia Bass, Adrian Gray, Glow Clendaniel, Plot Twist Media, Adam and Rachel Crump, and Allison Gall. And from the Bacon Council, we have Nicole D. Kell, Go Knights Go, Chris Anderson, Ryan and Marley Farron, Stephen Ross, Motts, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, our favorite couple, the Madsons, The Shadow, and Reverse Listener. Patrons, thank you very much.
Thank you, patrons. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love you.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with the Quick Wits. They're performing again in theaters soon. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
And if you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. But more importantly, make sure you follow Baconsale on social media. Go ahead and go to the Facebook page, like that, and then jump over to Instagram and Twitter at Baconsale and join some of the fun. I know it's pretty goofy over on Twitter, and then just comment on the Instagram, because I don't think anybody did this last week. And while you're doing that, jump over to tpublic.com/baconsale, where you can get yourself some merch, everything from a t-shirt to a pillow to, I don't know, a mug, phone case. My mom has a Queenie's Grits phone case, and it is one of the funniest things. It's really great. tpublic.com/baconsale. And then if you want to support the show further, you can jump over to patreon.com/baconsale, where financial support starts at just $3 a month. You get some fun bonuses there, including some behind-the-scenes content coming from this very show. You'll also get the basically weekly Bacon Bits, which sometimes include exclusive reviews of mediocre Disney movies. Patreon.com/baconsale.
So until next time, would you like that toasted?
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Cheaper in Weber County, everything is.
They don't automatically give you cheese, but in the store, they will force it upon you.
Cheese
People can force cheese on me all day, okay? I am my own best buddy.
It's for my family. Boom.
So it's like a Castlevania code from back in the day?
And you can't...
Well, we put Lay's in there already.
Take them. This is the most disappointing thing I've ever had.
Sir, meet me at the window.
I felt like a robber.
What does the turkey Italiano have on it?
You hate the earth.
No, I get a damp napkin, and that's all I get.
Zach, what about you? What was your napkin experience?
Zach, what was your napkin experience?
Fresh melt. Look how melty they are. The cheese stretches in between them. Eat fresh. Melt.
You got the worst fresh melt in the history of fresh melts.
Mine was quite good.
Which is a short history.
It is worth the Subway fire for that sandwich.
It's the meatball. Meatball's $5. Cold cut combo.
Yeah.
Man, cheapest meats we got. Why are we from Brooklyn all of a sudden?
Who yells free meal?
Free meal?
Exactly.
Do you look at my notes before these shows and just say, what does Joe love? I hate it.
Tastes like farm.
In order to uncover this controversy, you had to use the metric system. I like mayonnaise enough for the both of us, Kent.
Nope. I'm not getting a meatball salad.
I'd rather not have pre-mushed meatballs.
Wrap in the lap.